tattoos?
The brands.
Yeah, it was from the surgery, obviously.
This is gonna be a real crapshoot, fellas.
Some wires.
There's wires.
Audio check.
There's booze everywhere. I did a couple of tests before. We'll see if it holds or if I fucked anything up from earlier.
This mute light, is it supposed to be on?
Click it. Now talk through that mic. Nope, you're dead. You muted it.
Oh, okay. So blinking means it's muted.
You're back.
I think it's only a matter of time.
Yes.
before I get tired of holding
That's
this
too close. You just sit back regular.
Okay.
Stop!
Can we make out with the mics?
Yeah.
Ah!
Go down the road. All right, jabronis, we're back. We got a real special event today. We got the Showtime tour up in Syracuse. Hopefully the audio works. You could just be sitting watching a bunch of assholes talking. You can't hear a goddamn thing, but we'll figure it out. But we're up in Syracuse visiting the Wet Cat. So Phil, thanks for having us here.
Thanks for coming.
You got to my right, your left, the creature or daddy himself, Mr. Prime the Bump.
I'm glad to be back in upstate New York. I thought I loved this place forever.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I already no way I'm going to be holding on to this thing for the next 2 hours, however long this is. But yeah.
Well, you just hold on with your dog.
Glad to be back in upstate New York. Can't wait to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Terrence, Family Show.
Right off the bat. Not there. Again, to my right, Tucker Jensen from previous episode. Tuck, thanks for coming back, even though you had no choice.
No, it's my pleasure. That's a lovely, lovely, beautiful town of Syracuse.
There you go. Yeah, it's something.
It's something.
To my left, we have a return guest, the Bone Crusher, Christopher Maloney.
Just completely blocked out by the solar eclipse.
And then the solar eclipse to his left, Bonji Brandon Roper Hubbard, and then of course the guest of honor, Sewage Phil, the Wet Cat himself.
I'm just gonna fuck myself.
So thanks guys for doing this and bearing with me while I set all this crap up. Hopefully it works out. We've already had an awesome weekend of just dicking around and doing whatever, seeing the site of Syracuse.
The site.
Yeah, the one site.
Bum City.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. We don't really have too much of an agenda, but we're kind of couch the conversation, at least to begin with, so we have, a little bit of a vector of what we want to talk about. So we'll talk about some good memories we had back in college together. For all you idiots who don't know, we all went to college together and played ball. Or we're on the same baseball team. Some of us played, some of us didn't. So we'll talk about some memories and then kind of go from there and just have a good time. But first, we gotta step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by the Syracuse Department of Tourism. Want to move to a city that's fun, lively, and has everything you want and need in a city and town? Well, when you're done living there, head on up to Syracuse, where the only thing more prominent than the number of abandoned buildings is the stark amount of homeless bums that are hopped up on ice and cheese. So, to get your shitty weather meth fix today, visit www.nothingtooffer.com, and if you use the promo code KILLME, you'll get 2 free pounds of chicken tenders at the calzone zone.
That's your best read. Yeah, that was good. That was your best read.
Thank you, Syracuse Department of Tourism, for that one. Can't wait to hit the calzone zone for
Oh my gosh.
chicken tenders, I guess.
High quality meats
So
there.
there's something
50-minute
there.
wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it should be pointed out to the listeners because they've already established that cheese means something else. In this read, cheese is apparently meth now.
No,
cocaine.
In this,
cheese is cocaine. See, I can't even keep up with this vernacular.
in this flourishing part of the country, cheese is cocaine and ice is meth.
That's right. Okay.
But you have to be a Syracuse native apparently to know that, so whatever. But Creature, you got the cage fact today. You volunteered.
Yeah.
Decided to do a little fact finding. So
Yeah,
take it away.
So this Cage fact has a few levels to it. I was listening to an interview that Nick Cage was talking about his performance in Face Off, which we all know and love, and he began talking about Vampire's Kiss, which again has been well documented and chronicled in LPDS. And he referred to Vampire's Kiss as his laboratory. That's his word. He said he was able to work on what he called extraordinary facial expressions and body language that was just unnatural. And he said because he was able to do this and that it was his laboratory, Vampire's Kiss is actually his favorite movie. So anyways, he used these techniques that he developed in Vampire's Kiss and to play Castor Troy in Face Off, and that we really see this when he's dressed as the priest, doing the crazy head rolls and feeling women up and doing all this crazy stuff. And he said the only problem with this was once that scene was over, that's when you roll the credits. Well, John Travolta took over as Castor Troy, so he said he'd really love to play a full 2-hour movie as Castor Troy. And I think he's speaking for all of us because we'd all love to see that.
We would all love to see Face Off 2 as him completely as Castor Troy. It's actually funny that he says that Vampire's Kiss was his laboratory and that it was his favorite movie because the producers and directors and everybody else involved in the movie was like scared to death of how he was going to actually play the role because he was a last-minute add-in when Dennis Quaid pulled out of the movie, and they're just like, this guy's a wild card. We have no idea what we're getting. And in his head, he's like, I'm so fucking ready. So, great Cage fact. Thanks for that. So we might as well just roll right into the junction. Spin the logo up here. So we'll just start the conversation with just anybody want to volunteer, talk about like a favorite memory. It doesn't really have to be on the field at Embry-Riddle, but something that we all can share, and then we can kind of talk about like our own perspective, our own little camera angles of that particular situation, because we all viewed it very differently, each experience, and we all enjoyed it for different reasons. So we kind of talked about it a little bit before, kind of, I guess you could say prime the pump, if you will, on that. But I don't know, a couple of you guys thought of ideas. Anyone want to dive in first?
I think I'll lead off here. I think my favorite memory, I don't have one specifically, but I just have a host of them, and that was any road trip, basically.
Yeah.
I think road trips are just like the best way to just bring a team together and just have that sense of camaraderie be built upon one another or built up with each other. And one of my favorite memories from all the road trips that we went on was you and I, whenever we would go to a hotel, we would take our shirts off, walk down to the ice machine, spray ourselves with Axe, and turn around and see if there were chicks that would be poking their heads out. Because back then there was this body spray called Bod.
It was called Bod.
And they had the most ridiculous commercials.
And it was a body spray, but it came in like a
spritzer
Windex
bottle.
bottle.
That's right, yeah.
And so in all of these commercials, these dudes would, like these hot shirtless, like Abercrombie dudes would like spray themselves with it and like walk down the halls, and like women, like hot supermodel women would just like start flocking from unknown places, sticking their heads out of windows and doors and just like tracking them up and down the hall. And that you and I did that every road trip to see
Every road to check.
whatever whole trip never happened.
Wait, what? And here's the reason why. And I didn't really think about it until probably just now. We're a team of 30 plus baseball players. We own the whole hallway. There's not a goddamn female on the floor, and we're walking around looking at like, we're all the pros.
We're also staying at La Quinta.
Yeah. It's pet friendly though.
I didn't know where we were going to take the girls back to because we slept in rooms of four.
Four, yeah.
So,
Back to their room maybe?
maybe, yeah.
To the ice room? We didn't have to think that far ahead because...
It never happened.
Never
We knew
happened.
it wasn't going to happen.
No.
We were just two losers walking down the hallway with our shirts off.
But I also felt pretty cool though.
Why was it
hanging out with
the
a
ice
starter?
I don't know. I don't know why we always walk to the ice machine.
Because that's what he did. The guy in the commercial, the Bod commercial.
The Bod man.
Yeah, the Bod man. He de-shirted. He was wearing dungarees and no shirt. Walking through, and he was already glistening. Like, he got a workout in and decided to put just jeans back on. And then he was walking through with the ice bucket down, and he was just, like, projecting this Bod aura.
Yeah.
And all these broads were coming out of their hotel rooms, like, all just vapored up, if you will. And just waiting for him. And
clean up.
I mean, I feel like if you did it by yourself, you might have had a chance, but then you had.
Pretty sure I'd be arrested if I did it by myself.
Well, depending on we
I have a tendency of
we
getting
were pretty
arrested.
far. We were pretty far south past the base of Dixon line there, so.
You're the only reason I stayed safe.
Yeah, I guess it was a real like catch-22. Like we weren't getting chicks because I was there, but you weren't getting arrested because I was there.
Speaking
Sorry,
of having like
everyone.
30 guys on all the same floor, I felt sorry for the poor bastards that actually were on vacation and just so happened to be right next to all of us. Because when we're on those road trips, we do that thing, you know, where you the metal thing on the door where you flip it open so the door doesn't lock behind you. We just you hear doing, 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 like every 5 seconds. Oh man.
Those poor bastards. And there's always at least one time, because we're down south, we're down in Florida or Alabama or wherever the hell we were. So there was always a family of betas, because who's taking a vacation to friggin' Southeastern University, like wherever that was.
Lakeland.
Yeah. And just coming out of their door and it's just a bunch of broke dick assholes like owning the whole hallway.
That smell like shit.
Yeah, it smelled like shit and stale Papa John's.
Yeah.
And it was disgusting.
A luggage cart full of Papa John's. Just
Yeah.
wheeling it in.
Wheeling it in with the little like snack peppers that it came with and the garlic sauce.
Yep.
The worst. I hate the Papa because I can never go back to the Papa because of it.
Yeah.
I can't go back to the Papa because of the racism, but you know, to each his own, I guess.
Well, the Shack got
Yeah, Shaq got to
It took over.
It's not Shaq though. He's got a mustache.
No, it's in disguise. Yeah. It's a tranny.
We won't get into that.
I've seen that disguise. What else we got?
Well, to add on to the road trips, like sometimes they weren't as good, especially if we were losing to teams like Edward Waters or Flomo. On the way back to the hotel, Coach would put on, what was it, Wedding Crashers? He put on Wedding Crashers to see if anyone would laugh.
Yeah.
And every
After
funny
a tough
scene,
loss.
every funny scene would happen. You turn around and go, ah! Just start fake laughing. Oh, that's funny, isn't it? Oh,
What a real ass.
Like you had to carry the loss for the next like 10 years of your life.
Well, that's what he had. That's what he had to do as a kid. So we had to do the same thing, I guess.
I remember there was one road trip. After a while, you get tired of eating. Splitting a Papa John's pizza with a buddy and half of a liter of Diet Coke. Yeah. So a lot of us used to branch on our own and go out to eat on our own. And there was one time, I forget where we were going. It must have been like a Tennessee trip or something like that, because we got there pretty late at night and we weren't playing until the next day. It's probably like 8:57, 9:57 at night. And the reason why I remember that is because we're walking to this Mexican restaurant about 3 minutes before they're getting ready to close. And I remember it was Phil, me, Tucker, Barrett, and maybe a couple other guys. And you were kind of our ringleader because you asked the guy, "Are you guys still open?" And he gave you one of these. He shook his head no, but said yes. And you're like, "So you're not open?" And he did the same thing again. And you're like, "All right." And before I know it, we're in there. I know this is going to be a terrible idea. We're walking towards like the bar where we're going to eat, and all the chairs are flipped over on the table. Every single employee is standing there like they're getting ready to kill us. And for some reason, we order the food anyways.
We have a Ruby fajitas.
I remember Tucker got the soup, and I remember thinking, if this guy can't make a start tomorrow, we're all going to know why. I ordered food. I don't remember what I ordered because I did not eat it. I know that for sure. I ordered food, and I gave him a 30% tip, and I was out of there. But that was the kind of stuff you had to go to avoid eating another Papa John's pizza.
Yeah, or Western Sizzling.
Oh.
I think we already talked about
Yeah,
that.
we did on the Thanksgiving episode.
You told
that's
the Chipotle story, right? He promised us Chipotle, but then
Yes.
didn't say it.
Yeah. He pulled the old bait and switch.
Right, yeah.
Just so we could get the sweep.
That's right.
It was like we were he had to treat us like kids just to get victories, as if we weren't going to try to win anyway. I mean, there was obviously a couple people who didn't give a shit. They were just there because they got scholarships.
Yeah.
But most of us wanted to win, so he didn't have to fuck us with Chipotle. We're going to try to sweep anyway.
You play to win the game.
Yeah. I guess he didn't think we did.
And he played for the Chipotle.
Yeah.
Well, we even went to Golden Corral once, right? Like, we were traveling from Miami to Alabama, which was like 17 hours or something like that. And it was like, all right, we're gonna go somewhere nice tonight, and treat you guys. And we go straight into Golden Corral, and it's just the dirtiest Golden Corral in America. You go in the bathroom, but you go in the bathroom, there's just poop all over the wall.
It was rough.
Yeah, that chocolate fountain.
It's a chocolate fountain.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Oh man.
God.
We ate like kings.
Yeah.
Cece's Pizza, Golden Corral.
CC's.
Burger King. I remember Burger King one time. That was the Burger King time. Was my first year, and the only reason obviously I ate it was because he bought it. The team bought it.
That's the only way.
But that was the time we were just coming back from. I think we played a D2 team at the time, and we stopped to eat. So we're all in uniform in the McDonald's, and
The BK Lounge.
the BK Lounge, yeah. And this guy, that's where the guy looks at me and he goes, "Yo, man, anyone ever tell you look just like Pedro Martinez?" And anybody who knows Pedro Martinez knows that I don't look anything like him. So I just look back at the guy and I go, "Pedro Martinez? Not even close, pal." And Bud caught wind of it, he heard it, and all the heavy hitters heard it, and that was it. Every time they even looked at me, they would just be like, "Not even close, pal." And that became like the catchphrase for the rest of the year for me, besides all the other stuff you guys made fun of me for.
For when you would swing and miss, we go, not even close.
I didn't swing and miss much. I didn't swing much.
But we believed in miracles.
We do believe in miracles, yeah.
My favorite travel story is like going to the conference tournament, and I don't know if we talked about it in the David's podcast. Like, we would all be sitting by the pool. We were like the number 1 seed, so we'd be sitting by the pool, all lounging out, playing that stupid ball toss game, where like one person runs in, throws the ball behind him, the next person catches it, and then we watch teams leave for their first game. They come back all dirty, and then they have to leave again for their second game, and we're just sitting there with a bye like by the pool the whole time.
They hated us for
Yeah,
it.
that was my favorite.
For whatever, like every team and their coaches and their families hated us.
Yeah.
And we were the least trashy of the teams. I guess maybe I'm biased, but we were the least Bush League and shitty of all the teams ever in any conference tournament. There was like St. Thomas was brutal.
Yeah.
They were brutal.
Yeah.
Even SCAD was brutal a little bit. At least their coach was more brutal than their players. They were, the players were all right, but like
You hated that guy.
I hated that guy. He was the definition of a fucking sleazeball.
Weasel.
He was a weasel. He was just a two-faced weaselly bitch.
Follow us on Instagram.
But every time he would fake like nice to the Steagles, come in with his little handshake. "Hey, how you guys doing? I love the program. I love everything you got." And then everything he tried to do was just undercut us or just do. It was just a piece of garbage. And he used to coach at the school too.
Yeah, he was an assistant under Nick Williams before he
Yeah.
got his head coaching started at SCAD.
That seems to be like the reputation of the assistant coaches at Riddle. They're pieces of shit, and then they move on to head coach other programs, and then people forget that they were pieces of shit.
We don't forget.
I
never forget. Never.
Yeah, and that was such sweet vindication when I have it on my Facebook. Somebody sent me a message. I don't know if it was you, Bud, or somebody else sent me a link to an article when they announced that the SCAD baseball team was getting disbanded for like funding or something like that. And I was like, sweet vindication. Like the final W. It was great.
Well, I think the hate for St. Thomas was like it was amplified because their parents were like twice as worse as the players were. You know, screaming, cheering. They were talking shit to you in the hotel. It was like a little World Series where it's like okay, but as like 20-year-old to 18-year-olds, it's like not okay.
Right.
Yeah, bringing noisemakers and shit.
Drums.
I was gonna say, when is it okay to do that?
I mean,
Little League World Series.
Little League World Series.
Yeah, they're always going crazy there.
I know the parents are.
The
parents,
Yeah. It's still not
shit,
okay.
They're not talking shit to the opposing team's players.
No,
I've never been to the Little League World Series. So I don't know how cutthroat it is.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. But they were. I remember a couple of them, the parents, not the players, were looking at us and giving us like the suck it sign from the stands. I was like,
There it is.
Yeah. I was like, what is going on here? Like, you guys, A, we usually beat you guys every time. B, like, you're a bunch of fat, dirty parents. Like, what are you gonna do? Try to fight us? Like,
You know, a little taste of success.
I didn't know where you were going with that. I'm happy that it went into the direction of parents.
oh no.
That's what I thought. Like,
Parents.
It's a family show.
that dirty, smelly.
Bobcats. If you remember
Video would have cut out.
when on Bonji's walk-off, right? So like the pile like went around Goolsby, who scored, and then it like moved into the fence. And I don't know if you remember, like it was like up against the like netting, and all the parents were like above them in the stands, like yelling and like flicking them off.
Giving us the bird
Yeah,
and stuff.
like Mosier had all the pictures that the like photographers took and stuff, and he was like, I couldn't use any of them because they were like flicking off everyone on the field.
Holy shit.
It's just, I mean, we were super competitive. We still are, but at the end of the day, it's like we're playing a game.
Right.
It's not for money or anything. Like we were happy about it, but the parents, you have no other involvement than your kid. Like, so the fact that you're getting that personally angry at other kids essentially is like, get the fuck over yourselves. You fat shit. Parents, you.
Dirty fucking parents.
Yeah.
And we just lost Syracuse tourism.
Oh man.
The 12 people that want to be here in Syracuse are not happy. Not happy about this. I'm sure they'll listen too.
Do you guys remember when Point Park came into town, and then Randy and their head coach like almost fought in between games?
Was that a northern
You may not
team?
have been there.
I don't think I was there. I think were they a New Jersey
Maybe
team or up from?
They're from Pittsburgh.
Okay, that's what. But they were. You told me
Maybe
they were
this is
terrible.
when I was coaching.
Yeah.
Maybe you were still around.
I don't recall this.
So what happened
I
was
remember the story because you
Yeah.
told me you were like, this team was as bush league as you could
Yeah,
get, and the coach was.
Yeah, they were extra bush league, and we beat them in the first game. It was a doubleheader, like 2 7-inning games. We beat them in the first game, and then like normally it's like 30 minutes between game, and so like we got to clean up the field and do all that, and so like they're down there for spring break, whatever. So then after the game, Randy goes over to talk to their head coach and is like, hey, 30 minutes, we'll get started, and you tell your starters, be ready in 30. And the other coach is like, why don't we start now? And he's like, Randy's like, what? What do you mean? He's like, yeah, just start the game now.
No.
He's like, no, it's our field. We have to fix the field. And he's like, yeah, but just do it now. We're both ready. He's like, no, you're not coming to our field and telling us what to do. So then he just starts like bitching back and forth. Then their parents get involved. So then it's like parents and like coaches yelling at each other. Thurno had to go and get in between Randy and the other coach. It was crazy.
Did you beat him the second game?
I think so. I think so.
You did sweep
Yeah.
him. Yeah.
I mean, those spring break games, there was nothing better.
It was great.
Because
They hadn't seen the sun.
yeah, and we're
8
already
weeks.
like 24-3 or something. Been playing since January.
Yeah.
They come
Literally.
down. Yeah. Their guys just getting warmed up for the first time all year, just get shelled.
And we were getting paid to play. The only thing better was playoff baseball because we had no school. But spring break baseball we were still getting our per
Same thing,
diem.
yeah.
And then when we weren't playing, we can just hit the beach where everyone else was hanging out at. And then we were already mid-season and just I don't remember losing many games during that unless we played another like team in our conference for whatever reason, which we usually didn't.
Yeah, we played like 14 games in like 10 days.
6
or whatever.
days,
Yeah.
Something ridiculous.
Just seeing the sun for the first time.
Yeah, I think I totaled in the 3 spring break seasons. I think I had maybe 2 total at bats.
Nice.
One of them was a grand slam.
Coach would always
I
talk
had
it up.
500.
Yes.
Leading into those games, he'd always talk it up. He'd always like prep the bullpen. You guys better be ready. You better be ready. We got all these games.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sarge.
Not you,
We
Sarge.
didn't need you.
The other guy, yeah. We didn't need the Make-A-Wish game.
Do you believe in miracles?
Yeah, and then one day, that was the one time we were talking about like nobody's on the team that got to get an at bat or whatever. That was the one time I think people were like happy, like when a nobody got a hit. The other times nobody really cared.
When you got your hit?
When I got my
for
hit,
sure.
yeah. But Skip had it. So you guys all ran out and did your thing, like we won the World Series. And then Skip had to go tell the other coach. He talked to him, and then after the game, we got in our huddle, and Skip came to our huddle and was like, "Yeah, I just had to go talk to the coach, let him know that we weren't trying to like be Bush League or anything. We were celebrating because we had this guy that never has no business being on the field." And he was just dropping bombs, and I was like, "Dude, I'm right here." He's like, "This guy has no business being on the field. We just put him in because he's been working so hard. We figured we'd give him a shot. We didn't know he was ever going to hit the ball out of the infield." I was like,
That a good memory. That reminds me. So the 2008 we go to the World Series. So I really only got to play with you guys for 1 year, and you I didn't even get to play with. But the first year we go to the World Series, or 2008, and we lose the first game. I pitched the second game. We won, and we did pretty well in the tournament. But they did like a newspaper spread on the game. So I remember that I have it. There's a big picture of me throwing, and it's a big write-up about the game. And there's a quote from Skip, and it's like, "Yeah, Chris has been doing well for us. It's lucky, if he can get some balls over the plate and not get hit too hard." I remember taking it to him. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He's like, "I didn't say that." I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Like, I don't know what it's like. Who hurt you? You have to dog on it. Like, you did all these jabs in public too. It's not even like behind the scenes. It's like it's like.
We were surprised Chris could even get out on the first end. Yeah, I was like,
Like, I should go hitter. Like,
To be fair, we had lost like 30-0 the first game of the World Series.
it was only 19-1.
It was like 18 or 19 or whatever.
Yeah.
Do you remember
In 5 minutes.
the like opening like ceremony dinner and stuff that you do at one of the World Series, and each coach like says something, like the radio guys come up and they like interview each coach, and he was like, "Yeah, we're not the most talented, but we're gonna try to make some noise." Thanks, we're here. Thanks.
We're all sitting in our oversized polos.
We're just sitting there like abused, like emotionally abused children, foster kids. They're just love us, like appreciate us.
Eat your steak bites and shit up.
So we have steak bites every year.
it's just a beef jerky from the package.
Yeah, and he loved the steak bites. He's like, "Oh, bite-sized steak, that's the best part." I was like, "Is it though?" Like, they're not that good. Like, you're just cutting up crappy meat into squares, but whatever.
Put some light breading on it and then giving it to us.
Yeah, they
that's
call it something cool. We're sitting there. I have my polo sleeves were like it's like down to here on my arm. Yeah. I legit looked like I'm naked, like on his last leg, and they're just like, "Here, wear this shirt. You're gonna die."
Yeah, why is it every piece of gear that we got didn't fit anybody?
Well, they like their gear extra big. Like, if you notice, Skip and Cheesesteak like their clothes longer and baggier. And I don't know if they did it because that's what they like, or because times were tough. We wouldn't sell enough calendars or something.
It's like, I think that's like a Fab Five thing. That's when they grow up. That's when they got the
That's
baggy,
their
baggy
era.
shorts. Yeah.
Yeah. Baggy everything. And when it's baggy for like you guys, that it's like
It's a clown show.
yeah, it's just out of control. And of course, when you're a walk-on laundry guy, you're not getting the best of the gear to begin with. So
Still waiting on those turfs. Those size 12 turfs.
we got some good gear for them. We went to go visit during WrestleMania weekend, and we got some good shirts and some other cool gear, and a nice, like, I got a half-used bottle of sunscreen from them, and a softball, and a VHS tape of an old Embry-Riddle basketball game for posterity.
You got like big time schools that had like 6 pairs of cleats, one for every game or every week or whatever. And then you got us with 1 pair of shoes for the whole year. But don't worry, they got inserts you can put in.
You change the color of the scarf.
We're going yellows today, man.
After one game, it's brown. That's brown.
Yeah. Those were actually our best cleats, I think. at least from my era, like those Nikes, the Mizuno Franken cleats
Oh
were
my God.
awesome.
Yeah,
Just the
Yeah,
worst.
that's brutal.
It's like wearing 12 pounds of fucking concrete.
Just
on
cinder
your
block.
feet. Yeah.
They looked like the cleats that they draw on like old Bugs Bunny cartoons, like the other baseball players.
Yeah.
They're just like thick black lumps with spikes coming out of them. That was I was like, we are top-notch organization here.
I'm pretty sure that that's what the mafia uses to like feed people to the fishes. They just put those cleats
They
on.
just order a couple of Mizuno size 12s and it's good night. You get a good deal on them.
Man, that would have been a good sponsor.
Mizuno cement blocks.
There's still time.
Yeah, throw them in the creek here in Syracuse. Apparently, plenty of people have seen that same fate up here.
Yeah.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, this town sucks. Sorry. People from Syracuse.
Ain't nobody from Syracuse listening to that.
And we've been to a lot of places together.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of road trips.
Yeah.
Literally all over the country, whether it's on the team or just visiting each other. This is up there in the worst places, I think.
Yeah. And
We've still had a great time because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter where we go,
Yeah.
but
I do have to apologize for everyone. I didn't even think of like us doing this in somewhere else. It was just
we needed to see this.
Yeah.
No, we needed this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been to the beach plenty of times. You know, we've seen Vegas.
We'll never make the mistake. That we're sure of.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's still been fun though.
It has been fun.
I mean, what are we gonna do? Go to Atlanta again and have an awesome time at every club and bar and strip club? Like,
Yeah.
That gets old.
that gets old. Yeah. That's old.
That's boring.
Yeah. Don't need
I'd rather
that.
see rundown buildings.
Meth heads
Exact
everywhere.
bombs.
And for whatever reason, they love talking to me. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know what
you
it
attract them, like I said.
it must be like the olive oil or garlic that just comes out of my pores. I'm just like, this is the guy I want to have a full conversation with about meth.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, couldn't you been placed somewhere else?
Yeah,
I apologize.
that's not
Sorry.
your fault. We chose to come here. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
No, I was saying the method last night.
Oh,
We
that
were
guy.
just walking
Oh,
by.
that other man. Yeah.
Yeah, can I ask you a question? Sorry. Sorry.
You know, one guy asked me. He goes, "Can I ask you a question?" I was just like, "No, thank you." Not even close, pal. One of my favorites. I'm drinking and talking at the same time, idiot. One of my favorites. It was I don't remember if we.
Actually,
got
bring
really
the whole
high.
box. Bring the whole box.
One of my favorite memories was it was a one-time thing, and I don't remember if we talked about it or not. But it was a Christmas gag gift night, like the little clubhouse holiday party we had.
So that was the last time was 2008.
Yeah, it was the only time. So Orty, you never got
I
to
was not
experience
there
it.
for this, but I've heard plenty of stories for sure.
Yeah, so
Skip hates it.
yeah, he
Hated
can't.
it.
Yeah, I mean it's tough for the coaches to be a part of, but it was. And again, I don't remember if we talked about it, but to recap, it was like a Secret Santa, but the person you got in the Secret Santa, you had to buy them a gift, a gag gift, a fake gift to make fun of them or whatever. And it could be really anything. It could be a physical gift. You can make a PowerPoint presentation. You can do a speech, whatever it was. Anything to make fun of them.
It was no holds bar.
Yeah.
Absolutely no
No
rules.
rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
said it was really hard for the coaches to be a part of it. The Williams never seemed like it was hard for them.
They loved it.
They loved it because they just loved like
Infighting.
people making- Yes. basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
the
That's
house
what they
divided
wanted.
cannot stand. And that's what they wanted. They
Yeah,
wanted
rise up
total
against them.
yeah. But yeah, the Steagles and I think their immediate thought as soon as it started was like, we're gonna go to prison. This is a bad idea. But I won't mention the person I had, but the first thing I said it too, before we even started, I was like, hey, just a reminder for everybody, like, this is no holds barred, and this is not personal. We're just making fun and shit talking our friends, and we're just gonna move on happily and know that we don't hate each other. We're just like having fun and shit talking like we always do. Don't take it personal.
Yeah.
And
And
Definitely.
immediately, my guy, I give him his gift. I thought it was pretty good. And after that day, he was like, oh, it was super funny, good job, good work or whatever. And then the next day, he shuts his Facebook down. We go into Christmas break, shuts his Facebook down, doesn't answer anybody's text message, and is a complete ghost until like the first week of the spring season started again. Complete ghost. Yeah, it was DR.
Yeah.
The doctor.
And it was like, I just said, none of this was personal. Like
We
I
didn't know if he was gonna come back.
No, we did. And
we thought he was
then
gonna quit.
and then I got a message about like, I thought we were friends. And I was like, I'm still your friend. Like, I don't. What are you talking about, dude? Like, I'm not your friend now because you get all butthurt when I make fun. Like, I can't have friends like that. Like, we gotta shit talk each other.
Well, you won't mention who you had. I'll mention who I had. I had David's, and that was my best off the field moment.
Public enemy number. Corey Davis is public enemy number 1 of the LPDS, pretty much.
And I did not pick his name out of a hat. I asked for that name. Probably in when was Gag Gifts? December. I probably asked for it in September, probably.
August, as soon as
I spent a good 3 weeks
it's a
working on my
targeted
gift.
attack.
If you guys don't know Bud shined during every Gag Gift.
Arts and crafts are my strengths.
Yeah.
Arts and crafts and shit.
sarcasm.
So when you put both together, it's a perfect storm.
Yeah.
It's like your WrestleMania.
I didn't particularly try hard in school down there, so I put, I'd say, a good 3 weeks worth of homework into that. So I mean, not just me, we all kind of thought he looked like the Penguin from Batman Returns.
Oswald Cobblepot.
Yeah, so I took that and completely ran with it. I went to the Publix that I live close to, went through their dumpsters and took every cardboard box that I could find, spray painted all of it yellow, and built a full-scale Penguin Duckmobile. And the pictures don't exist anywhere on Facebook anymore, I don't think.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Yeah, if they do, we'll put them up here, but I don't think they do.
I made a monocle and a top hat as well.
And you made him wear it while you went through the side-by-side comparison of all the things that make them the same person. Of like, this is like a conspiracy I'm about to solve right now.
The Penguin Mobile even had shoulder harnesses so they could wear.
Didn't you move his car and put it in the park?
Yes, that's right.
That was like the coup de grace of the gift. It was like you went through the poster presentation of like Oswald Cobblepot wears a monocle. Corey Davis wears a monocle. And you went through it all, and then you're like, both of the people drive a Penguin Mobile, and Davis is like, I don't drive a Penguin Mobile. And you're like, oh yes you do. And it's just thinking, where's my car, bro? I don't know if it went down exactly like that, but in my head, that's exactly what happened.
We'll just go with that. Yeah, that was the legend I left behind.
Yeah.
That was great. Our patio was blocked off for a solid few weeks when we were making that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a top secret mission that you had to keep covered.
It had paint and duct tape and drawing on it and
Feathers.
I drew the feathers on, and I drew the seams in the metal where the rivets would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
That was a good one.
Yeah, but after that, the Steelers didn't want to do it at all.
You guys broke Gag Gifts over that, because by the time I got there in 09, we weren't doing it anymore.
Well, I think the big thing was
there was another reason too.
Yeah, the DUI.
Yeah.
The arrests and
Yeah. The subsequent.
It got me to start on opening day.
all right, first base.
That's right.
Yep. Starting first baseman.
That's right.
All the people that started over me as they were leaving the clubhouse, I was just giving them like little nips of vodka and tequila. Have a good night. Hydrate. I need to start. I call my parents. Didn't work out for me still. Shocker. Imagine that. Like a laundry duty.
Well, you probably hit one more grand slam than a lot of them did combined. So.
I did, I think, yeah. I think I did. But another great memory I have is, and we talked about it a lot, I think maybe more so with you, Orty, is the whole laundry crew stuff.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, hours. And we talked about it on my first episode.
Yeah.
But, we had a lot of guys who weren't on laundry who come out and help us with it, but we were just messing around.
Well, it's just
having fun.
good to have everyone come hang out. I think at one point, at least one of you guys always came by, for, like whether it was at the end of the day.
That's ridiculous.
No, not. I don't count you because you were actually.
Other things that I had to do during my redshirt year that no one helped me with.
Oh, when you did laundry.
Yeah,
You were the only one.
I was the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and well, Guzman was on the laundry list. He never did it. Same with my first year. Choosy was on the list as a laundry, and I was like, why is it just me and David's?
Yeah.
And Skip was like, Goozy's supposed to do it too. I was like, why would you even fucking pick him? Like the guy doesn't even
Just put
show
some
up on
Febreze on,
campus.
bro.
Yeah, doesn't show up to games barely.
Oh my god!
I
Remember
just-
that
I like-
time we forgot to wash our laundry and we were wearing.
Yeah, that's what it was. He just sprayed Febreze on it.
Yeah.
We threw in the dryer first, too.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah,
With the
gross.
Williams, we had those like those white sanitary socks,
yeah.
but you had to put it in those little
In
bags,
in the bag, and then
so they wouldn't dry.
They wouldn't ever dry.
Yeah.
So I would have to dry them multiple times. I was there until like 3 o'clock by myself, running these socks to the dryer 3 and 4 times.
And they'd still be
And
wet.
they'd
You
still be
put them
wet.
on,
Yeah, it's
like,
brutal.
God.
And Schumann would be bitching at me the next day, like, "Why are my socks still wet?" I was like, "Dude, I'm sorry. I have hours of homework. I caught 8 bullpens. I washed everybody's
I had to
shit.
go to church.
I'm hand scrubbing everybody's like jersey
With
when
a
they were sliding.
toothbrush, yeah. Brutal.
Fortunately, we only had like 18 guys on the
Right.
team that year,
Right.
so I didn't have to do 40.
Could have been a lot worse.
It could have been, but it was still pretty fucking terrible.
See, luckily we had a team of guys. The problem is our uniforms sucked. Like they bought those blue, like
Like,
3-inch
hockey
thick
jerseys.
hockey jerseys in the middle of Florida. I don't know. They must have got a deal. They must have got them at a flea market or something because they were terrible. And those were the same situation where you had to re-dry them 3-4 times. It wasn't as bad because when you're in that Florida heat, it's probably nice to have a cool jersey on. But like.
Yeah. I was really envious of when you guys had your laundry crew because it seemed like you guys had a nice, like some camaraderie going. You guys
did.
were in there cheesing and just having a good. It seemed more like a party than slave labor.
Slave-
You're just on the bottom of the boat. Shoveling coal.
Oh man.
I enjoyed playing 2-bounce. We'd shoot basketball hoops the whole time, like while you guys were doing the laundry.
Yeah, every once in a while we were waiting for it to dry the first time, we would get a quick pickup game going. It got pretty intense sometimes.
The only good thing about me doing the laundry by myself late at night, so I was firing off JOs.
That's why the socks are still wet.
Well, that computer was so slow.
My jersey's all stiff.
The couch is just a plastic, like a plastic layer on top.
Well,
You sit down, you're just like, what's going on
That
here?
couch was gross.
Gross.
That thing
Oh
was
my God.
disgusting.
Well, thankfully Tucker came in and brought his roommate's old couch in and replaced it for a
Oh,
bit.
that's right.
And then I took that couch.
God.
Williams would just sit on it completely naked.
Yeah.
Butt ass naked. With
Just
his
ball
fucking
bagging.
Old balls.
They were
What's
weird
this
looking.
five-year plan? Don't die?
Oh man.
But no, with you guys on laundry crew, every time we would be practicing, like, say a rundown would happen, and you'd have like 2 people die for a tag, one guy slide in to miss a tag, and you'd be like, "What are you doing?"
It was that, and it was always people that didn't play. Like if
Well-
it was practice or like
I specifically remember like Saul Meza as the pinch runner, like stealing a base and sliding unnecessarily. He just,
Like,
and then these guys would be like,
Yeah.
this motherfucker. Yeah.
If you weren't huge, I'd fucking kill you.
the grass stains were the worst. Like during batting practice, and they're sliding like to catch a ball. It's like you're not like the starting lineup's already out. Your effort in batting practice is not going to make or break. and I'm not saying be lazy, but like. Fucking, you wash your uniform then. Like you did nothing. You didn't show the coach that you work hard and you're going to be better. and you should start. All you did was get your own teammates pissed at you because now we got to stay up later and scrub with the special soap your grass tank so you can go sit the bench next to me the next day.
It seemed like Sewell was always the guy that like, so if he was courtesy running for Augie, he'd be on second, Colin would hit a double, and Sewell would come in to score and like fucking slide it home. Like there was no play at the ball. It was always slide.
It was like as soon as he got to the base to pinch run, just to run for the catcher, before the pitch even came in, he was just diving back. He's like, all right, I'm good. I got dirty today, and it's just like, dude.
I remember we had one teammate who had like 35 pieces of Bubblicious in his back pocket. We didn't catch it. It goes through the laundry, creates a big mess. I think it was you who called him out on it.
Who was it again?
It was Josh Crummel. He sent a
Crumb Dad.
Yeah, I think he came up to us. He's like, "I'm so super duper duper."
Yeah, it was one of those.
Like,
that's what said it made it
yeah,
worse.
I'm just imagining your eyeballs in my pocket. Like, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, when he did that, it was like nothing was worse. All you'd just be like, "Look, I'm really sorry,
Yeah,
man. I fucked up. It won't happen." But he tried to come in like when you're a kid talking to your mom, like, "I'm so super duper sorry, man." I was like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm not just gonna beat you. I'm gonna slowly beat you up until your heart stops beating, and I'm not even gonna feel one bit of remorse about it. All because of this gum and this bullshit apology." And he wasn't even a bad guy. I like the guy.
That's what laundry crew will do.
But
to you.
that's what exactly. It turned friends into absolute enemies.
It'll make you a murderous, like
Yes.
sycophant.
And it was like days later when I cooled off and was like, yeah, he's a good guy. I probably shouldn't. I probably shouldn't try to rip his heart out. Yeah. But man, it just turned you.
I remember you guys when you were talking about Bellaris, it reminded me of all the times that I remember looking out in the outfield and he would be chasing a ball down during BP and then try to do the sliding catch every fucking time.
Coming from BP, head to toe, grass tank. Fucking serious.
When he inevitably missed it, sorry, Lars. He would get up and like throw his glove down, be furious and like, man, this guy might kill us all.
Listen, I wanted to beat his ass, but I never even crossed my mind. There's no way I'm taking that beast down.
The scary thing too about Dave was that we witnessed his transformation of like big soft guy to like he got shredded and ripped and strong. Yeah. And he was in reality he's like got a heart of gold. Yeah. But when he was intense about something and passionate,
the psycho element
switch went on.
He's the guy you want on your team.
Correct.
Yeah, 100%. So
and now he's a cop.
Yeah. So he's on our team. I don't know.
Thank you very much, David, for all you do. Appreciate it.
But
did we ever talk about who would win in a fight, him or Brandon Kreth?
No, we have not. Man. So Brandon Kreth was another guy on the team. I didn't play with him, but he was another character of the organization who had that same sort of vibe of like really nice guy. The guy was always super nice to me when I met him. Heart of gold, and then with no warning or anything whatsoever, he can just turn into a legitimate serial killer and just knock out 15, 16 kills right there on the spot. No problem. I don't know, did Dave and Kreth ever play together? Were they on the team together?
I think so.
Yeah. 2011, they were on the same team. They were on the same team.
You guys experienced that more than I did. I just knew that the possibility that could have been an electric fight.
Yeah. So just a quick Kreth anecdote. I love that guy. He was the man. But we just had a normal practice, a regular old practice. Like nothing extraordinary happened. And then it started raining at the end of practice, and then it ended, and everyone's going their own ways, leaving. And he rode his bike to school. I don't know if he had a car or whatever, but he would ride his bike to and from school. And so
the car was filled with body parts, so he couldn't drive it.
And so I was leaving, and I just left, and I'm driving up Clyde Morris, and then I see someone on a bike, and I was like, "Oh, is that Kreth?" It's pissing rain, absolutely pissing rain.
Florida rain, yeah.
And so I ride up next to him, I pull over. In front of him, and then he rides past, and I had my window down. I was like, "Kreth!" And then he gets startled. I was like, "Get in the car!" And he was like, "No." I was like, "Get in the fucking car!" And he's like, "No, I gotta punish myself. I had a terrible practice. I'm riding home." I was like, "All right, see ya."
Okay, bye. Yeah, remember this when you go on your killing spree. What a character. characters. Speaking of characters, Joel Blomberg.
Oh,
I think we talked about a little bit. We introduced Joel. Another one. Like, there were so many guys that are just good-hearted human beings, but just in a different, like, universe altogether. And one story in particular that was loud.
right next to the mic.
Yeah, that was max decibels.
It's almost like you don't listen on purpose.
It's a fresh pot.
But the time he had the speech with us in the dugout about getting on the right path. Now, to his defense, he was dealing with an absolute bunch of degenerates that were 100% going on the wrong path.
Somebody should talk about Brennan about getting on the right path. You can't really blame Joel.
Yes. And now this starts the intervention portion.
Back then, I wasn't that bad.
No, you were.
Yeah, but he could see it. You were headed down the wrong
He said you were going.
Yeah.
He kept telling you the bridge is out, dude, and now you're midway over the bridge, like over the broken bridge.
Back to the Future
You're airborne Dukes of Hazzard style.
ET's over that bridge.
I feel like we all could have listened to that a little bit more, but he was telling us about how we're all on this highway together, and the bridge ahead is out. And the only way to save ourselves from going off the bridge, off the broken bridge, is to get off this exit of redemption, if you will.
And the exit number is Jesus.
Is Jesus, yeah. Which is not a number. Which that was my first argument. But he kept. You could tell he was talking to a few individuals. Not you at the time, but a few individuals that were already. I mean, they were at the bottom of the bridge of the ravine already.
Yeah, they were
too far gone. And you could tell just by the way they were looking at Joel, they're just like, dude, you're not getting through to me.
Well, we got to go over the bus ride.
Yeah,
with Joel.
I was gonna say.
But I thought about who did he throw his glove at?
Sal.
Yeah, when he yelled, "I'm the center fielder,"
Which was another.
Was that even a game or practice?
No, it was
Practice.
It was practice. So there was
old practice.
I think we were putting Saul out there.
It's a good point.
Put me out
With his
there.
little infielder glove.
Yeah, like a kid glove.
Yeah.
Wasn't it like a...
His Scotty Smalls glove. No, so in practice, there was a fly ball hit out to like right center field, and all those who don't know baseball, it's center fielder is the main leader of the outfield predominantly, but if another outfielder calls off the ball and says, I got it, you let him get it, and then they just catch it. Like, usually they'll just go and catch it, and it's an out's an out.
There's a hierarchy.
There's a hierarchy usually, but when things like that happen, the ball was in right center field. It was obviously closer to right field where Saul was, to his credit. He calls it off, he catches it no problem, and Joel, who in his mind at the time, again, to his defense, I'm the center fielder. If I can get it, I am getting it, and that's it. And that you should all know that.
Yeah, if I call you off, then it's mine.
Right.
Well, Sal was also camped under it, and
That's
Joel was
those
still running
full
at him
sprint,
as
yeah.
if to catch it.
Yeah.
And that's when.
But in his mind, he was like, I'm the center fielder. I know I can get to it, so therefore it's my ball. Get the hell out of the way. He would never say hell, though.
Yeah.
So Saul catches it, he throws it in, and we're kind of not paying attention. All of a sudden, you just hear, I'm the center fielder! And he takes his glove. He's an adult male. And he throws it at his own teammate. He throws it at him.
And of course, Saul did nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He just sat there. I mean,
He was just wondering when he got to get back to cheerleading.
Yeah.
Trying to take a swing at a girl.
Full court pressure.
If I remember correctly, Randy and Cheesesteak were out that practice, so it was just Thurno running practice.
Yeah.
So he saw it happen, and he just goes, and leisurely walks out to Joel to be
have like a one-on-one
listen,
conversation.
You can't do that.
You're an adult male.
And then the bus ride story.
Yeah.
But I think were you there for that?
I was there.
That
Yeah,
or
that's-
you
I was
were
not there.
for
That
that.
was before I got there, yeah.
But you were there for the trapping, right?
Oh, yeah. That way he used to field ground balls in the outfield.
Yeah.
He put his glove down instead of like a normal freaking outfielder. Yeah, he
Just let it
strap it
roll
down
in.
like this.
What?
Yeah, you get on his
he
knees
would get
too.
on the knee and
Yeah.
then let it roll in like it was a car
that for
going
real?
into
Yeah,
a-
no, it's like
Yeah,
yeah.
train.
I never picked up on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was so
Sounds good.
fucking weird.
Wow.
So fucking weird.
But speaking of him and
Like a cave door shutting.
yeah, I remember one time, it was right when we got to Lewiston. I was just telling you guys this story. It was when we got to Lewiston for the NAI World Series in 2009. It was the only year I played with him. We're taking a team photo right outside the hotel. So I put my arm around him just as like a friendly teammate thing, and he freaks the fuck out. And he immediately puts me in an arm bar. I have to start tapping out. Like, what the fuck is going on? I end up throwing a punch right in his collarbone, and all over a team photo. And he's like, bro,
It came to blows.
what the hell is that?
It went from calm team family photo to an app like absolute.
And I specifically remember his face after I punched him. It was almost like he snapped out of reality, and that punch snapped him. He's like, "Oh, where am I? what just happened?"
Well, it wasn't like it was like a, you know how you to take pictures around like a significant other, you know?
No, I
low.
yeah,
You're
no,
going over the shoulder.
It was going over the shoulder, around the neck, and he immediately. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he's definitely one dude you couldn't do any type of like
Touching.
Clearly.
gay joking with.
No, nothing like not
Okay,
even
amazing.
cordial. If it wasn't like an acknowledge, like I'm coming in for a handshake, you acknowledge and we're gonna handshake.
Yeah.
If it was like this or anything, he was just and then blacked out, and then that was it. And it was
Drop kicked you.
very strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, it was strange for sure.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Now we
You go.
So
You're the host.
on the road trips, yeah, but everyone wants to hear from you guys, not this. Based on views, nobody wants to hear me talk. So on road trips, on long road trips, we would actually get a charter bus that had TVs and we can play DVDs and VHS.
Few and far
such.
between, we'd actually be treated.
To an actual,
Sometimes
yeah.
they have the charter buses where you have beds up top.
Yeah.
Every once in a while.
I had that.
Very rarely.
We had Wi-Fi that didn't work.
Yeah, it was fraudulent. So, depending on the day, like if we won, obviously we didn't care what we watched, but we always try to watch a comedy, especially when we won, because we can just dick around and laugh and have a good time. And there's one particular time we're driving back from a game and we put on the movie Walk Hard.
Well, I mean, we're all 20. Like,
At
we're
least
not going to put
some
on
of
like Princess
the
Bride.
seniors were 21, 22
Right,
years old.
exactly.
Yeah, so we're not watching like Dumbo or I don't know what else.
A
whatever
rated
he
R
is.
comedy.
Yeah, well, I don't know what he expected us to watch. So we put on Walk Hard, which is a super rated R, like satire joke movie, joking about like Johnny Cash or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a true story of Dewey Cox.
Yeah, sure. And it's got like cursing and drugs and nudity out the ass
Yeah.
and everything, which is again for rated R, it's like that's correct.
It's a hard R.
Pretty
Yeah,
raunchy.
it's hard.
Pretty
Very
raunchy,
hard art,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And we get to one part of the movie, it's halfway through, and it's a part of the movie where, like, I forgot, I don't know who it was. Was it Dewey Cox
Yeah,
himself?
they're having an orgy.
Yeah, they're having,
Yeah,
it's the
they're
orgy
having
scene, and all of a sudden you just see, like, dicks everywhere in the
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
And we're watching the movie.
Dixon.
And all of a sudden you hear in the back, behind me, you just hear someone like slapping the side of the TV on the bus. And you're like, what's going on? It's like, and we turn around and old Joel is fighting the TV, like hitting it, punching it, and slapping it. And we're like, is the TV broken? He's like, no. And then he sprints up to the front where the coaches are sitting. I believe Skip was on the phone. I think he was. And like Joel is like doing the tap on the shoulder, like until he answers, like coach. And he's like, Joel, what the fuck do you want? And he goes, how can you let your players watch this smut? And then he looks up and he sees like the dicks and he's like, It's like, all right, well, what do you want us to watch? And he's like, anything, but it can't be rated R. This is terrible. This is blasphemy.
Garbage.
So we had to turn it off, and from then on out, we could not watch anything rated R again.
Yeah. We watched Hoosiers, Remember the Titans, and then
Bang the drum slowly.
Bang the Drum
Yeah.
Slowly, and then Cinderella Man.
Cinderella.
Oh,
endlessly.
Cinderella Man, once a
Some-
trip.
Yeah.
We also watched I Am Legend.
I Am Legend, where he
That
got
was
scared.
PG-13.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
allowed-
he
we're
got a
allowed
little
to watch
scared of that. But the fact that we're all over 18 years old, and we were not allowed to watch a rated R movie because one person wild. I mean, and again, nothing against Joel. Like, he's a good guy. It's funny, but just the whole idea of like, we can't watch rated R movies.
It's a great story, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like, this is unbelievable.
Like, you couldn't just sit there and just be quiet and not watch.
Yeah. No. And to this day, I've never seen that entire movie. That's where it ends. So the memory of Dewey Cox Walk Hard ends with dicks.
I think it was my movie too because I bring DVDs on the trip. And
Yeah,
after
from
that,
roommates.
Coach asked me not to bring any more.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Yeah.
You're going to hell.
Yeah.
How could your roommates let you watch this, Tucker? Like,
Your roommates. I love your roommates. They make great chicken enchiladas.
Yeah.
we talked about his roommates in the previous episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Mr.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Mrs. Jensen.
Thanks. Hell yeah.
Unreleased.
What's that?
Unreleased.
And so, yeah. Well, by
Cheers.
the time people hear this, it'll be released.
Yeah.
And they probably would have listened to it at least 2 or 3 times based on the popularity.
For a rewatch.
Yeah, you gotta have a rewatch.
There's more.
You want to take a quick commercial break?
Yeah, I gotta pee real
We'll be
quick.
right back.
Yeah.
And we're back. We had to get a couple snacks.
Yeah, we didn't want to be eating candy in the mic like a fucking moron. Steal.
Like the lowest rated LPDS guest episode so far.
You guys could have been discussing the overnight success of becoming a millionaire, how to bag Margot Robbie as a wife. I didn't hear any of it because all I could hear was his freaking mouth clicking noises the entire time.
That's the shame, is that it was a good episode. We had a
Yeah,
great
I couldn't tell you.
conversation.
Couldn't tell you.
Well, as long as he's never invited back, then it's okay.
Well,
I think it was rated 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
there's some Cage movies higher than that. Love you, Weasel.
Hate you, Weasel.
I don't know where we left off from our
We
little
were
break.
talking about
We wrapped up
Walk
Joel.
Hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
The true
Walk
story.
Hard.
The legend of Joel.
I don't know why I just thought of this. This isn't an off the field moment, but this was a lot of things that there's 4 pitchers here. You guys were catchers, so to speak. So maybe you have some experience with this.
We wore catcher's gear.
Yeah.
Use that term loosely.
But
I would actually catch the ball.
I was just thinking of the PFPs that we had to go through with Coach T and how he would hit missiles back at us for practice. He'd always say, this is how they come at you in a game, which is true. Usually if a hitter hits a pitch right back up the middle, it's usually not a little duck fart. He's usually smoking a line drive right back at you.
Right.
So having to get, just absolutely fucking smoked with balls off of Coach T's, it was nothing to be trifled with, his PFP. And I don't want to speak for the rest of the guys here, but I know I did not wear a cup ever. I just found it very uncomfortable. So you really had to have a lot of trust in your hands.
Yeah.
So, it's not just your hands, it's not just the velocity it's hitting back at you, but remember you're on an incline because it's a mound, there's a lip where the clay and the grass meet, you could take a bad hop. So not only do you have to have trust in your hands, but every once in a while there's probably a day where I'm a little nervous today. So I don't know what you guys did, but on days like that for me, I used to do this little move where I'd take the goods and I'd tuck them back between my legs.
You go Buffalo
That's
Bill.
exactly. If there's any new or current players out there that want to use that move, I call it the silence of the lambs.
But how would you?
I would just like that. It can hit me in the chest. It can hit me in the mouth. I don't care. I'll wear that. But if there was ever a day where I didn't trust
The
myself,
silence of the
the
lambs.
silence of the lambs, man. Feel free to use that, guys.
Right.
I think someone actually did lose a couple teeth one day. Was it Kevin Egan?
I did.
Oh,
What?
That was your first
in
practice.
PS.
was that third base or?
Oh no,
Yeah,
you just
third
took off the dome from Kyle Albright.
that's
Albright,
right.
That was like
Yeah,
a
that's a
9-out game
different.
or something.
Yeah, but that was like
He was trying to hit a pop fly, instead he hit a raging line drive straight into Phil's head.
Yeah.
He hit you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
That fucked me up. If Conyers was listening to this, sorry I lied to you. I was fucked up for
Yeah.
a while.
I definitely had a concussion.
So I knew so that was like the first year, I think, when they started making you do the concussion protocol test before you got like your baseline, right?
Yeah.
So then if you got a hit in the head, then you take that test again and they'd compare your results.
Yeah.
So like mine didn't really compare that bad, but I was fucked up. And I remember asking like immediately after it happened, because it was right before the season started, before my senior year, and I was like, how long do I need to go symptom free? And he was like 2 weeks, and I was like doing the math, and I was like, our game was like 15 days away. I was like, okay, I'm good.
I'm set
good
to
to go.
free.
But
I
was fucked up. It was weird. Like anything that I was focusing on, I could do just fine. But like walking through the house and like doing things that you don't like think about, like opening a cabinet to get a bowl out to make cereal or something, you're just thinking about, it's the bowl has been
Muscle
there for 3
memory
years.
kind of, yeah.
I was opening the wrong cabinets and shit. I'd walk into rooms and flip the light switch on, but it'd be on the wrong hand side. Like weird shit like that. I was fucked up, man. I was real
Your
fucked up.
brain was
Yeah,
bad.
it was
That
120 miles an hour off of fungo back straight
Yeah.
to the dome. Of
No
course you
helmet.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I had a similar story like that. I forget what year it was, but we were getting our throwing in. I don't remember who I was tossing with, but Barrett Bruce, the biggest world's largest third grader. He's a fucking child if I've ever met one in a 22-year-old body. And he thinks it's a good idea to come right by me, and he flashes his glove right in front of my eyes, but he doesn't catch the ball. He just puts his glove right in front of my face, and the ball ends up drilling me right in the fucking thing. And Phil starts dying laughing, Tucker starts dying laughing.
You just start dying.
I was fucking furious. I threw my glove. I'm like, God damn it, Barry! I'm so pissed. And he never. All he says was, "Well, it could have been worse." Never apologized. Never said, "Hey, man, I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking." He just said, "Could have been worse."
No, so finish the quote. The best part of that was that even worse, and then you go, right in the fucking face, how much worse did they get?
Right between the fucking eyes, man. It somehow missed my bill. And I mean, to be fair, I guess he technically isn't wrong. It could have broken my fucking nose. It hit me right in the forehead, and I was so pissed.
What's your throwing partner, Kraft?
I couldn't even remember, but it just drilled me.
Because you got
Yeah, that's right. I have no idea who it was.
Kraft was the worst throwing partner.
Oh my god, he was scary.
Because we would do flat grounds after every time we lawn toss or whatever we did, and Kraft would be
Flat ground
30.
is like you're just practicing pitching, but not on a mound, right?
Right, you're just practicing, grips,
60
or
feet
releases,
away, you're throwing all your pitches, curveballs, and everything.
Gotcha.
And yeah, the nastiest splitter.
Oh my
He was
god,
good,
that thing
yeah.
was
But the
disgusting.
thing is, all of a sudden, from fall to spring, he was throwing 82 to 95.
Yeah.
So he would go 40, 30 feet away and just pepper you with 95 miles per hour, and then he would just mix in a splitter every once in a while.
And I'll tell you, at least I used to catch with you a lot when you were doing stuff like that, but you always gave the glove signs that they have.
Yeah,
for
what you're
fastball,
supposed to do,
like
yeah.
curveball, whatever it is.
universal.
Yeah, universal like language that you can. And I guess he never did. I don't know if he didn't know the language or what.
No, it was like Creature said, silence of the lambs every time he hit the ball. You didn't know if he was one-hopping you at 95 or a splitter. Right,
Yeah,
we're
gonna use your skin as a lampshade. Could have been all 3 out of 3. Oh man, I got my teeth knocked out once. I don't remember if we discussed that on our
think we
episode
did.
or
I think you
not.
had.
That was your day one.
Yeah, it was my first practice, and I had to go because I think it was because I was like a bum walk-on, so the dentist didn't have an emergency appointment for me. So I had to go to a day or two of classes with half a tooth, front tooth, half a tooth, just sitting there, just like, absolutely, yeah. I'm just breathing and just and it's like I can't get any. Visually speaking, I can't get any worse. Like I had a flat top at the time. I have this big gonzo nose.
You showed up in uniform.
Yeah, I
Your
showed.
first practice.
I'm in uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in a military uniform, and just like.
Just drilled them out.
And I'm now toothless. I'm like I'm a caricature, like a walking caricature. And then finally they got it fixed, and it's still a problem for me today because every time I go to the dentist, they always are like dicking around, like doing their cleaning and checks. And it's not until I tell them like, hey, just to let you know, this is like a half a fake tooth. This is a cap. They're like, oh, I didn't realize. I'm like, you're the dentist. Like it's very clear that you look at it and it's 2 different colors. They're like, oh, they're like, if I wanted any harder, I would have knocked it right out. I was like, yeah, no shit.
I feel that way when I go to the dentist too, because I had a root canal on this tooth.
Ooh.
Because when I was younger, I was fighting with my older brother BJ, and we were like doing like lightsaber swords, and we had like this little small broom, and like he knocked me back on the bed somehow, and then grabbed my legs and pulled me off. And I was holding the broom right here, and as I hit the ground, the bed was probably like a good 18 inches off the ground, so it was a pretty far fall. And I hit it, as soon as I hit the floor, I smacked myself in the tooth
with the broomstick.
And it had been like, and immediately it like turned blue, but like over the course of years, it kind of just like
died out.
No, but it returned to normal. Like the color kind of came back, so they thought it was fine. But I went to the dentist like 2 years ago, and they're like, "Yeah, dude, your tooth is like slowly dying." And they're like, "We should probably do a root canal on it." I was like, "How has no one told?" Like I go to the dentist assiduously. Like I go regular, and they're like, "No one's
How did you
told me
miss this one?"
Yeah. And so they ended up doing a root canal. And now every time I go back and they're like doing the scrape thing, and they're always just like yanking. I was like, "Hey man, this is."
Hang on by a thread.
Don't you have my records? Like, yeah.
Look at you with your words.
Did you tell your mom later on that BJ caused you to have to get a root canal so she would hit him?
When he's in his 30s.
Because that's absolutely what I would have done. Like if my brother caused that, and then I didn't find out till years later that was the root cause of like an issue, I would just go right back to Crazy Cow and be like, "Hey, just to let you know," so that she could hit him with a curtain rod or something.
Or an
Mickey
extension cord.
Pig.
Yeah, all the Mickey sticks over there with his pirouettes.
Pirouette promos.
Yeah.
Here's a story where I got my teeth kicked out, figuratively speaking. This is me and Skip, Coach Stiegel. I don't think he ever got in my ass for the 3 years that I was there, except for this one time. He and I were always on good terms. I never really got into trouble, never did anything off the field, whatever.
You were just a good guy.
Yeah, but like I feel like I did what he was looking for on the field and off the field. So he never really got in my case, except for this one day. It was an inter-squad game where we had 40 guys on our team, as we've referenced a couple times. So we'd split into two teams and we'd play each other. It's just a practice game. And I come out for my outing, and I have one of these days that every pitcher has had, where as soon as the ball leaves your hand, it's anybody's fucking guess where this thing is going.
That was my every day.
Yeah, every pitcher has had days like this.
As soon as I touch it.
Yeah, as soon as it leaves my hand, don't ask me where it's going. I don't have the fucking slightest idea. I am all over the place. It's 3-0, ball 4 on everybody. The balls that I am throwing for strikes are right down the dick and getting hammered all over the place. I don't even think I've gotten it out yet, so I'm obviously freaking pissed. And then I started to get even more pissed because the guy who's catching me, which we don't have to talk about, he was doing this thing where
Was Davis though?
No, it wasn't Davis.
Yeah, we mentioned that.
Yeah. I have no problem calling Davis out for this bullshit.
It was NG.
He would put down a fastball right down the middle, and I would shake no, and he would just be like, fastball right down the middle anyways, like, no, this is what you're gonna fucking throw. And I understand I'm all over the place, but it's like, you know what? I've spent hundreds of hours sitting with my dick in my hand in the outfield for you to take your BP. You're gonna sit here and wear this shitty outing. I'm gonna get through this. If it was a game, right? You get the 3 outs and you move on. But here I'm gonna work on
You
my
would have
shit.
been pulled already.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even last 5 minutes. But so I'm getting pissed because of that. And then what really set me off is an outfielder comes up to the plate, and I'll leave him nameless as well. But
Corey Davis.
the first pitch I throw is like 2 inches off the plate, gets called a ball. The next pitch, I think, it's probably way out of the zone. There's no way I'm doing that twice in a row. Third pitch, same exact thing. 2 inches off the plate, and it gets called a ball. So I immediately snatch the ball from my catcher, and I am screaming my fucking nuts off. And you're probably thinking, well, you're pissed because you're getting squeezed by the guy behind the mound.
Yeah.
But I wasn't. I was fucking pissed at this piece of shit that's sitting in the batter's box in an inter-squad game who's taking,
He's trying to work a walk.
Yeah, in a fucking inter-squad game. I haven't thrown 2 pitches over the plate all fucking day, and you're too much of a pussy to swing the bat. So I am fucking furious.
And he's on your team.
Yeah. But if you don't know any better, you just think I'm getting pissed because I'm having a shitty fucking day. So Randy fucking calls me off the mound, which is super fucking embarrassing. He doesn't come out to the mound to talk to me. He makes me run off the mound to where he's at, and it just screams in my fucking face. I think he's spitting in my face. I have to go back towards the mound, try to get out of this inning. I don't even know how long it took. All right, but the general operation in inter squad is after you got your throwing in, you'd also get your running in right after the inning was over.
Right.
And usually you would do it with like the guy who finished his inning for the opposing team. So like let's say Tucker finished his inning, he would wait for me to finish mine, and then we go do our running together.
Yeah.
And this particular afternoon, it was Corey Beavis who had finished his inning.
The Phantom.
Yeah. He was sitting out over by the foul pole waiting for me to get through this godforsaken fucking inning. I finally do, and obviously I'm steaming at this point. I come over, and all I remember is him looking at me go, "Look, Orty, I know you're pissed, but we got 12 of these, so just take it fucking easy." Because he did.
You gotta tell us who the batter was
Off the air.
Off the
Yeah, I bet you
record.
could fucking guess it.
What were the initials?
Oh, that'll give it away.
No, don't do it. No, we can't do it.
I'm really intrigued.
Yeah,
No, what made it worse is this is a guy who didn't even play that often. Like, if this motherfucker is ever concerned about why he's not getting playing time, give me a call and I'll
That's
explain
why,
it to
yeah.
you.
This is
Piece of
like-
shit. God, I was so fucking pissed.
See, I had the opposite problem because in scrimmages and practices, I would be aggressive at the plate. In real games, when I got a pinch hit, when I should have been aggressive, I was like, "Let's work this walk, baby."
Wouldn't you always?
If it's 1 inch inside, I'm wearing it.
Wouldn't you always like face like the best pitcher on our team?
Yeah,
You would never face. I'm not gonna name names, but you would never face like the lower.
No,
you would always face like Bud. Then you, Maloney.
yeah, I would
someone-
face the top, and the only time, like, I faced Phil a lot.
So yeah, you can explain that why.
I faced you a lot. I don't know exactly why. It was just.
I can tell you
because-
why. Yeah, no, because like I was pitching the last inning in the inter squad.
Oh, that's
and
right, 'cause you were doing close
you
out,
were,
and I was-
you were bullpen catching the entire inter squad. So then at the end of the thing, they're like,
I
"Oh,
wasn't
Sarge
even-
needs an at
Oh
bat."
shit! Sorry.
I wasn't even playing regularly in our own inter squads. Like there was that many players that the Steagles thought were better than me. That we had 2 teams worth of players, and they still were like, "We're in the last inning. I guess he could get an at bat."
So he would warm me up. I would throw. He'd see every single movement that I
How
had, every pitch,
everything was
and then he
going.
would hit, and you just shell me.
Oh, there it is.
And I had a
I
good,
caught 100 of these things.
I had a good batting average against Barrett for some reason too, but I didn't catch his bullpens before.
Yeah.
It was just, I think it was just lucky because it wasn't skill. I
DJ
promise
D
you.
lit me up.
Was that?
Yeah, DJ D. He lit me up.
JD40.
Yeah, DJ D40.
Well, did he or
Lit
did
me up.
Bonji and he just take a snap?
Oh, buddy.
Because that was
Big
that was
rock Bonji.
Lighting him up in practice.
that was an issue that was running
That's-
rampant. So for those who don't know, there was a guy on the team. I don't even want to call him a player.
Yeah.
There was a guy on the team for a little bit who was notorious for making like Facebook posts and status updates and for his fan base, I guess, talking about how he went 2 for 3 in the game with 2 doubles and RBIs and stolen bases and stuff. Meanwhile, he doesn't even dress for the games.
He doesn't play.
No, he doesn't play,
so-
and he sits in the bleachers.
Yeah, we
with
didn't.
the fans.
We had during his year, the time that we overlapped, we only had 2 black guys on the team. It was me and him, and and so I was the only one playing at that time, and he would tell soccer players that he was like trying to like hook up with or steal from their current boyfriends that also played baseball with him.
Yeah.
He would tell them that he did everything that I did for that game. He was claiming my stats.
They won't notice.
50%
I think that's
right.
I
We
feel
all
like that's
the same.
racist.
And I remember I was sitting, we were out at like 509 or Razzles one night, and I was hanging out
Some
with,
sin bin.
yeah, and I was hanging out with Meatball because Goolsby was off somewhere doing his thing. And
He was
Meatball-
studying.
Yeah, studying, for sure.
Economics.
Yeah. And
Marketing book.
and I was hanging out with Meatball, and she was telling me that he had been telling her how well he's been doing on the field, and I was like, "What? He doesn't even play. What are you talking about?" And she proceeded to tell me that he told her that he had done this, and this during the
You're
game.
like, wait a second.
That's
That's
right. That's what I did. Yeah, so he'd apparently been going around and like claiming my stats as his own and just.
They're pretty good
Should be
stats.
flattering though.
Yeah, but you should have done the opposite. You should have been like, all right, I struck out 4 times today.
Look me up.
I housed a bunch of wings in the stands.
I sat in the stands and ordered Domino's.
I ate 2 Jersey Mike subs by myself and a Papa John's pie.
He did
Date
good.
me.
He did good on his profile picture too, because he would have from his summer ball league. He would have a picture of him. Like, the balls are behind him.
It's the only action shot you can get.
There was. Do you remember the time that Choosy called him out in the middle of a
I
huddle?
remember that. Yes, I remember that.
Which was very ironic to me that Choosy was calling him out for an ethics violation.
Ethics violation.
That was the number one.
It was like a legit huddle though. Like
Yeah, we were.
Goose was like, oh, I want to talk. You know?
It was right before practice started. We just got finished stretching or whatever, and Choosy was like, "Hey, before we start, everyone, we gotta bring it. I gotta tell you something." And he never does that because he usually doesn't care about anything but himself. So when he
and his chin strap.
yeah, and so when he brought us in, we were like, "All right, what does he got to say?" He goes, "I just want to let you know that this guy right here," and he hits the guy. And he's like, hold on, we're like, I wonder if they did something cool together. He's like, this guy right here, I just want to let you know that he's been sending messages to my girlfriend on Facebook. and he's telling my girlfriend that I've been cheating on her with all these other women around town.
Which he
and I don't
probably
care.
was.
Yeah, he was.
He absolutely
He definitely
was.
That's why it was ironic.
Yeah, but we're teammates, you know.
Right,
No, that's-
it's the
yeah.
code, yeah. And
Rule number 1.
and that he was trying to tell her that so that she would break up with me to go out with him instead so that he could steal her. I just wanted to let everyone know that this guy's a piece of shit and he doesn't care about his teammates or his brothers at all or his family at all. Okay, let's go to practice.
Let's go to practice.
Eagles on 3.
Dude, that was deep in the recesses of my
Yeah,
brain.
I remember that.
too.
And I
I remember leaving that huddle and be like, how am I supposed to practice like this?
and the coaches weren't part
Yeah,
of
they
the
weren't
huddle.
there.
They didn't know what was going on. I was just thinking, like, I don't know what's worse. The guy who's trying to steal the girlfriend by telling her the truth and being a rat, a snitch, because I hate snitches, or the guy who's calling out the snitch but also doing the adultery. Like, I guess, did they cancel out?
It wasn't him though. It was Brandon.
What's that?
Yeah.
He picked the wrong guy. It was Fox the
Classic
entire
next
time.
time.
I always get into these situations.
It just kind of falls into my lap, you know?
Oh man, we had a lot of that happen last night. A lot of situations just fell into your lap.
You poor man.
Hey, y'all.
We've been bouncing around
Well-
Syracuse. Go ahead.
I was gonna say situations sometimes don't fall in his lap. Sometimes they're caused by other people, like me. When we're walking home from a night at the tavern,
Oh,
and
brother.
there's 2 individuals.
Oh man, hold on. Before we launch into this story, can I go pee again? Because I gotta.
Yeah, go
Oh my god.
This breaks brought to you by Brandon.
My little brother.
And we're back.
Sorry about that.
All right, so story time. Was it Tucker?
Tucker. So you know,
I have to say my name's Tucker.
So I'm Tucker.
I'm here for the intervention. So it was Phil, Brandon, and I, and another female. We went to a tavern for the night in Flagler Beach, Florida.
We've talked about the Flagler Tavern
Oh,
as one of the originating spots of the jump and hump.
Yeah.
Yes. Don't forget your brace.
Your back race, yeah.
So we went back to the condo because that's where the car was parked for the night.
The condos where Matty T and Steele were living, and
Yeah, Tommy.
And Daniel
and
P.
Tommy.
Yeah, a whole bunch of players and friends of players. It was like a good compound, if you will.
Yeah,
Hey, you
it's a
Steele.
good spot.
So as we were, I believe we were walking.
Steel's Corvette makes an appearance into this.
Great.
Oh yeah.
And he knows that, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I hope so.
He does. He was there.
He watched the whole
it.
thing.
He watched
He
it.
didn't help at all.
No, he was up in his ivory tower. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry.
Steele and I.
I helped a lot.
Yeah.
All right.
So we were walking to the car to go home for the night, and these individuals were walking into the building, and I don't know if they...
No, they were standing outside
Yeah.
near their car, like having some type of
Argument. Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
So they were being loud, and my character, the sarcasm and the the abrupt
Jucker Tenson
yes.
came out.
So they ended up saying something like really really loud for everyone to hear, and I was like, say what? And then they freaked out,
Yeah,
and they just
They
went
took it
for
as fighting words.
Yeah. So it wasn't the dudes initially. So there were 2 dudes and a girl that were out there
Right.
having some type of argument. I mean, it seemed to me it could have been over anything.
So as soon as I
Strokes most likely.
as soon as I release my say what, I mean obviously I can kind of pose as a woman with the high pitched voice I just did. Though the lady in the other group thought it was the girl in our group, and she wanted to fight.
Fucking murder.
Yes. So I instantly regretted it, but so we were just trying to hold the girls back.
Yeah.
And then Brandon's trying to talk to the guy. They're talking.
They seemed okay.
Yeah, they were
They were
Yeah.
super reasonable.
They were like-
at the beginning of it, the only person that was like out of her mind was this chick that was just trying to attack our friend, and we're just like, hey guys, can you get her and like keep them separate? Like we're just trying to get out of here. We're just trying to go home. We're tired. Blah blah blah. And they're like, yeah, of course. I don't know why she's doing this. They were like super reasonable, and for some reason this chick must have been like drenched in fucking grease because they could not hold on to her. She was slipping through their hands and just going and like throwing punches at our
KY
friend.
sexy, right?
Yeah. And so finally I'm just like, guys, grab her. And then one of them says, shut up, and then drops the hard R on me. And I'm just like,
An N-bomb?
an N-bomb.
this
N-bomb
was-
with the hard R.
This was after they had
Yes.
kind of already retreated,
Yes.
and they dropped it, and so then that's when I came in, because
Yeah.
you take your glasses off, you
Yeah.
hand them to me,
I'm
you
like,
said, hold on,
this-
you said, come say it to my face.
Yes. I was like, if you're going to say it.
If you
please
could
say
please,
it.
if you could please.
And the guy walks over to me and he goes to say it, and I just hit him. And we're scuffling, and then his other friend comes over.
You hypothetically hit him.
No, I fucking hit him. I don't give a shit.
Allegedly.
Oh,
This
shit.
can't come back. This can't come back. Statue of limitations.
And I don't know. So I'm fighting 2 guys for some reason. You're trying to keep the girls.
what happened?
separate.
So we were in between the cars. You were
That's
getting
right.
ready to maybe drive. I don't know. And I was behind you, so there was a car door in between me. That's when you handed me your glasses.
Yeah.
And then so I have a car door in between me and you, and then after like you guys fall to the ground, I'm trying to close the car door. That's when the other guy was coming over to try to get on top of you.
Yeah.
So I'm like lifting him off.
Yeah.
Tommy has a guy in like a headlock sleeper
Yeah.
hold like this, just dragging him back to the apartment. And then the girls were fighting on their own.
Well, yeah, because the girl that was with the other party took it as an opportunity to go after our
Yeah,
girl.
she went back
so
over,
I'm like, I'm not gonna fight anybody. So I'm
I'm the one
I'm getting this on YouTube.
I'm the one holding the 2 girls apart. Like what am I supposed to do?
And then I remember getting one of the guys in a headlock, and then the other one trying to come and like attack me from the side, and I like grab him by the neck and shove him into Steele's car.
Yeah, that's
And
what
dent the car.
And dented
Wow.
Steele's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The van.
like completely. It was
dented, like
Talk about it. Nice.
And Steele is up there watching all of this happen, not helping, just watching it.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
I wish I could have been one of those.
Yeah. And so anyway, we get separated and we hop into the Camry.
Well,
Oh.
so we hop into the Camry, and like before this is all happening, the girl's like, "You don't know who I am. You are so
Yeah, that's
fucked.
right.
You don't know who my father is. My father is, a sheriff in this county." Blah 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 blah. I was like, whatever. So we're
Tasha's like, I know the sheriff.
Here we are, real time relationship.
So we're driving over the bridge, and we're like all pumped. I'm
We're all jacked up on
I'm
that,
looking
too.
for everyone else. We're all pumped. We're not going to take it. And we're halfway over the the bridge, and I'm like, guys, guess what? And I have my fingers, the girls' keys, like jingling around.
Like her car keys?
Yeah, and I was like, guess what? And I stick my head out the window, and I just shove them.
Wait, but that's not the best part. The best part was that these keys were like a janitor's keys. It was full. It was like 100 keys.
Her entire existence.
It was car keys, apartment keys, everything.
Well, I mean, it's her dad's share.
And they are at the bottom of the Halifax River.
Yeah, and one of the good things about the conclusion of this story is that when Steele and Tommy and them woke up the next day and they went outside, he was like, I still saw them in the parking lot looking for something.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they were probably looking for the keys.
Their car was in that parking lot for like a good month.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good move.
Yeah.
It's icing on the cake.
He started, he finished it, and he didn't take a swing.
My hands were clean.
Systematically took it down.
Yeah, that was classic.
So that's
I think the statute of limitations has gone up on that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, it's
that
been
was
over 10 years.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Fuck those dudes.
You hear a knock on the door right now.
Right here, yeah, right here.
And they go straight for you only.
You DJD.
But yeah, that's the time that it wasn't your fault. You did find yourself in a situation.
Yeah.
I feel like I got myself into those situations more often than not.
That
You
particular
think?
time.
Well, the first time that I did get arrested, it was because of you, and we were all at Mai Tais.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. But that is
You sort of primed the pump for that situation, and then you just happened to also get a bad frontline supervisor, I guess, for lack of a better term. Yeah.
Man.
But last night, you 100%
Dude, what were you
unequivocally were getting yourself purposely into any situation known to man. I've never seen anything like it.
That's the most heated I've seen him in a while.
Because it was such a fraudulent, because I know you.
Yeah.
I know who you are as a human being, like a man. Like a good person.
And we know.
And that was not you. You were this monster, just like ravenous with bloodlust or sex lust or whatever it was. And anything that moved with long hair, you were just aggressive.
Literally anything.
And every living soul in there had a different story.
And it was a different character. And then you stole valor by telling everyone that your parents were in the military. We were all stationed in Hawaii together. And I would just sit there like, I kind of heard it in the back of, I heard it.
He kept going, what is he saying?
Yeah, I heard it first. I was like, man, what was that? Then I look over. I see who you're talking to. I was like, why are they even talking to this thing? And then I go to Phil. I was like, hey, Phil, what did he just say? I go, what did he tell her about his parents? And Phil just goes, stolen valor.
Well, didn't he say that our parents were in Hawaii as well?
That's how they all met.
And he just kept telling different towns in Hawaii, different islands of where we were all from.
Phil went there too. He's like, Maui.
Oahu.
Yeah.
I said Honolulu, Oahu, Hawaii, and I was like, because that's the state.
I mean, everyone knows it's bullshit because why would you leave the beautiful state of Hawaii and fly all the way to Sirius? She probably just looked outside and was like, bullshit.
And then why were you involving yourself with the street sign business when we were leaving?
Oh my God, dude!
Because I was friends with the security guard by that point.
Oh sure, of course you were, and he told me to go take care of it, and then the next thing you know, I'm taking care of it.
But no, so really, he said someone will take care of it, and you thought he was.
And you were like, he definitely said Clint. He definitely said Clint.
I was someone.
Yeah, what you were telling everybody your name was Clint.
Nobody else does it, I guess I have to.
What was so frustrating was the effort you were wasting on these sea urchins. Not sea urchins, street. I was like,
These Aladdins.
yeah, these Aladdins. I was like, you're like creating this character for nothing. Like, you would never do this. You're so much better than this. And that was so we couldn't talk to anybody. If we talked to anybody with a pulse within your radar of whatever Quint was looking at, I knew within 15 seconds you were going to swoop in and try to do something to it.
What is he saying?
And then when we left the last bar, because they closed at like 11 or something, midnight maybe,
midnight,
and I was like, what are we doing here? And then I forgot it was fucking Thursday in Syracuse. And all of a sudden you just go, I'm hungry. See ya. Disappear to the I guess the second worst place you could go to, because you originally wanted to go get ramen. You wanted to get group ramen for everybody. That's how I knew you were drunk or something.
Ramen is delicious, and I
You
love
like ramen.
And
You can like it, but
the security guard told me. I asked him before I left. I was like, I'm hungry. Like, where should I go to get food? He was like, dude, I usually go to this ramen spot down the street. It's really good. So I was like, ramen sounds delicious. I want ramen.
no, I know you're a big fan of ramen, but
Yeah.
you suggested. I was like,
No.
ramen in Syracuse, like cup of noodles in Syracuse. No.
Yeah.
And then the next place you went to. Now, mind you, we have right down the line, 3 in a row. Like, the only restaurants that are open is a bar that says they claim to have the best chicken tenders in Syracuse. And I don't know if that was voted or they just put that on the sign or what. Right next to it was a chicken and waffles joint,
Yeah.
which is right up my alley. And it was open.
Definitely right up your alley.
Yeah. Obviously.
That's a little right.
Yes.
Come on, buddy.
We all know black.
Come on, buddy. I'll tell you.
The next place was a calzone place,
Yeah.
which I don't even know why they exist. Calzones are like a side thing at a pizzeria that nobody even orders.
Yeah.
And this is only what we thought was only calzones.
Calzones, yeah.
You beeline it there.
I went there because it looked like it would be the quickest because there was no one in there.
It could have been
was the
further from the
longest.
truth.
It was absolutely
Now-
the
There was
longest.
no one in there because there was a 300 feet deep. You couldn't
Yeah.
see the rest of the people.
right.
Yeah. But no, it took the longest because there was 2, what I presume to be college kids in there, working 30 orders
Dutch
by
buttering
themselves.
themselves.
It was ridiculous. I was looking at their ticket window, and there was literally 30 tickets in the window that they had not filled yet.
They must have been like Grubhub orders or something,
Yeah,
because
probably.
people were coming in to pick up and leave.
And leaving. And so I saw that and I was like, dude, how much do I have to tip you to get my order out a little bit quicker than what I see back there? And I just ended up giving him $30, and he was like, all right, I got you.
This ain't
and it
enough.
still took
Still
45 minutes.
Now here's the other issue with that too, was that first we walked around the block looking for a place to buy heaters, naturally,
Yeah.
and we come down.
Not me.
No, for the record.
Hannah, it was me.
Look, for the record, I've been trying very hard to get Tucker to smoke cigarettes, and he's not doing it. So good on you for staying strong, as we say in the LPDS. So we walk around the block. We're going on 20 minutes now.
Yeah.
We get in there, and you text me. You said, "I got calzones for us."
Yeah.
So I was like, "This guy ordered 6 calzones. Like, nobody wants 1 calzone." But then we come to find out that you ordered 2 calzones and 2 full pounds of wings. So we're talking, what is the math on there? 32 ounces of wing, like legit pounds. It wasn't just like. That wasn't like a colloquialism or just an expression like 2 pounds of wings. It was legit 2 full pounds of chicken tender wings or whatever they
They
were.
already sold them in the pounds.
At the
which
calzone
was
place.
very strange, I thought. Yeah.
So we had to wait for that.
Yeah.
But I will say on the trek back,
They were tasty.
we'll continue the hunt for cigarettes. We just decide he's never getting these calzones. This is a phantom operation. It's not happening. We're out of here.
We're leaving them.
Yeah.
He needs to learn a hard lesson. That his character needs to learn this hard lesson. So we leave. We go to find cigarettes. Now we think 7-Eleven open 24 hours, and even in South Dakota, the 7-Eleven was open 24 hours where I was stationed. We start walking up there, closed.
Yeah, but was there a bum apocalypse in South Dakota?
No.
Like there is here.
No, there was not. So we had to keep moving because of the rampant bum problem.
They're hard on our tail.
Yeah, we couldn't just stand there and wait for Bonji to get out of the calzone zone to get up to find us.
Calzones.
We had to keep it moving, and we would just give him directions as like, hey, now we're turning on this street. Everyone had to keep moving before the bums came over.
I had to drop my pin. I had to share my location just for him to follow me.
To follow.
I was not going to talk to him on the phone.
So now at this point, we're underneath a couple of overpasses.
No, I just don't want to talk about it.
We're underneath a couple of overpasses. You're about 1,000 yards, 500 yards behind us, running with 2 pounds of tenders and 2 calzones. And by the way, another thing, everything was buffalo wing flavor. The tenders, the calzones, it was like that's all they did.
No, I did get one Philly cheese.
Okay, all right. I didn't have that.
It was good.
It was good. I heard it wasn't bad. So you're running with this bag of poultry and meat. We're trying to slowly navigate around the bumps to this open gas station just to smoke a couple of cigarettes, just to feed the addiction. We get there, and the place is legitimately overrun with bums.
Clawing at
Yeah,
the
they're all,
Yeah.
and they all have the same
Chemo sites
little.
everywhere.
It was like Michael Jackson's Thriller.
They all have the same tactic too. They offer you some sort of service, like they open the door for you, or the one bum a couple days ago was telling us like, oh, this place closes in 30 minutes, so he's just taking a bathroom break. You guys are good to, like, he's giving us information, like intel. Like they're offering a service thinking like, if I do something for them, they'll pay me money so I can go get ice and cheese.
The one bum wasn't offering anything. He just asked straight up, will you buy me a beer?
Yeah, that he asked you that. So
How many do you have left?
Phil goes into the
Nice.
heart of this gas station, ground zero, if for lack of a better term.
For some reason, I wasn't even scared.
Yeah, well, that's how it.
How often you say
You're just like, I live here, just take me. Like I'm ready to
He has
die.
a scent of the familiar.
So they let you walk right past them.
Yeah.
I can see that his face is dejection.
Yeah.
He lives here.
He's dead inside.
Meanwhile, we're all fighting him off on the outside. This one guy goes up to Bud and just asks, like, first he asks you one, like, hey, how's your night going? You're like, good. And he goes, you got any money? You're like, no. He goes, can you buy me a beer? And Bud's like, no.
Yeah, sure. Look, what do you want?
Yeah. And we finally escaped back. You think the story's over. We're walking back, and all of a sudden, Bonji's force-feeding me these tenders to lighten the load that he's carrying.
Okay, I'm not forcing anybody in these tenders. Okay, they're
Yeah.
delicious. People wanted to eat them.
They weren't
at that
del-
We
point.
still have some.
I have a whole pound left.
They were edible and not bad.
Yes.
Delicious is not the
Yeah.
term I would
Yeah.
ever use for anything that could come out of the calzone zone.
So one thing about me is when I get super drunk, like I talk to everyone, and I'm just super friendly, overly so, and it's a problem. It's a real problem.
It's a problem in dangerous, unknown. When you're in an AOR, as they call it in the military,
Yeah.
of unknown territory, you don't know your enemies. It's very dangerous. Yeah.
And there's only one TOI.
There's only one target of interest. That's right.
But no, it was a missed opportunity in the calzone place because a woman walked in and
Yeah, she thought I worked there.
Yeah,
She was sitting on the other side of just a table.
An absolute.
300 feet from the counter.
She was going, I order here, and I was like, yeah, you gotta read it up there, and then you gotta tell me what you want.
But no,
Brainless.
Then she
Yeah,
walked to
she
the
was
next.
walking right towards Bonji. She didn't
Yeah.
know what she was walking into.
Yeah.
No, but she walked to the next set of people, and one was black, and she was like, "Oh my God, you played for Syracuse basketball? That is so awesome!" And I pull up the roster, and nope, that dude does not play Syracuse
She
basketball.
just saw an athletic-looking black guy. She's like, basketball, him, I'm on it.
Wait till she gets to Bonji.
Yeah.
And that was Bonji's missed opportunity.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that was the
well.
missed target. Anyway, we're walking back, and it's just, you think it's just us, and we're trying to fight, like we're trying to keep a radar open for bumps, looking to do whatever they were going to do to us. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there's this dude with like he had a shoulder surgery, he was in an arm brace,
Yeah.
another just a random walking solo across the street, and we're just
in the
like,
abandoned streets.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, we
man,
were not
straight.
in anywhere
He knows his
where
future.
anybody should be,
no.
let alone another
And-
person.
Yeah.
And we're just like, all right. Like he's far enough away, like we could see him coming if he tries to attack us. He's not going to because he's down a wing.
Yeah, and we're 6 guys against 1.
Right.
Yeah, but
and
Ted Bundy did that too. That's how he lures in his
That's how
prey.
fake injuries. But we're just like, what's press? And all of a sudden, as we're making the mental decision to keep going, we just hear, "Hey, broke arm! You want some of these? You want some of these tenders?" And it's, of course, it's
Clint.
your character, your alter ego, Clint, coming in hot and inviting this complete stranger who could have had a machete hidden in his little thing. Stand by.
We're back.
All right, we're back. We had a phone call. I don't know why. I never get phone calls. Nobody cares about me.
I'll call you.
So we're I'll call you tomorrow. Thanks, Doug. We're
Call you tomorrow, make sure you didn't kill yourself.
Bondi's feeding this guy tendies, not the calzones at least.
Yeah.
Giving him
We already
tenders.
eaten those.
Talking about this guy's telling us his life story of the night, I guess you could say, of how his friends ditched him and he's walking 3 miles
3
home.
miles home with a broken arm through the slums of Syracuse.
Yeah. I mean, the whole place is pretty much slums.
Yeah.
And
true.
and then we even said, "Hey, you're gonna get an Uber?" And he's like, "No, I gotta walk off all this booze I was drinking." I was like, something tells me that you're not walking anything off. Like he was pretty hefty, he was drunk. I was like, you're not gonna make it through the night anyway. So I guess take a couple of tendies as your final meal.
What's that zombie movie with Brad Pitt?
World War Z.
World War Z. It's like World War Z. He was injured, so the zombies didn't bother him.
Yeah, he wasn't hardy or enough of a meal or something. But we've been doing nothing but encountering these bums since the first time we went out in public here. And like, I was up in New York recently in the middle of like the COVID when the bums were running rampant, and it was not as bad as this. I was in the city, and there was bums shooting heroin and stuff, but there was like one bum every 16 blocks shooting heroin or jerking off or something. These guys are everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, and why would you want to stay up here and be a
It's
bum up
sick.
here?
It's
Literally
That's-
the worst place for a bum.
Exactly. That's
I'd make myself down south. To,
Hell yeah.
San
Somewhere
Diego.
where it's warm all the
Yeah.
time. I
Start
don't
walking,
understand.
like
Yeah,
get out
start
of here.
walking.
Like I don't know, I don't get it.
That's
They don't
like-
have tent city anywhere here. At least in DC, they found a way to create a little like base
zone.
of a bum zone, a BZD. Here, it's like you don't see any of that, and they're rampant.
Yeah.
And you
Like,
can't
that's
tell
what I'm
who
saying.
is a citizen and who's a bum anymore either. Some of them are just like regular working stiffs that just look like bums, but they're just druggies that are about to be bums.
However,
Yeah.
it could be like a mental thing because the guy we saw our first night here at the Mexican restaurant cleaned up so well you didn't even recognize him the next night. So it could be like you're just seeing double because he was wasted high, whatever, just dancing to the Mexican.
Wearing dirty sweats and shit.
I mean, he had to be on meth the first night,
The
right?
first
yeah.
night for
He
sure.
could
Just
have
drunk
a
the
twin
second night?
bum brother.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's just likely.
but like-
Wait, so we got to talk about this because this is like the theme of the weekend. So we're waiting for actually, Bachi, you're not there yet. We go to this Mexican joint to get some food and beverage while we're waiting for you to fly in.
Wow, cool.
And we decide to sit outside. It's actually not raining anymore or anything, so we sit outside to eat. And 3 tables down, they're playing music. I forgot the style of music, like
Mexican.
Mexican, Hispanic.
Yeah, Mexican.
No, it's not
It was
mariachi.
like upbeat, like club.
It was Bad Bunny and
Spanish.
Mr.
Yeah,
305.
Spanish.
So
Spanish.
yes, so
Reggaeton. Right?
yeah.
Is that what they call
So we're eating. I think so. I don't know. I don't know what the kids say. Yeah. So 3 tables down, this guy that we're talking about, high as a kite on ice. He's wearing
Once
sweats.
again, it's math.
Yeah, he's dancing by himself, like looking at himself in the window, and he's got a can. It looks like a Four Locos can. It wasn't though, but it kind of did. And it's in a plastic bag, not even a paper bag, a plastic bag, and just dancing by himself. And we sit down at the table. Bud, your back is facing him. So the first
Which I
thing
didn't
the first thing you say to me is, "Hey, if this guy starts walking towards us, you let me know so I can get ready."
Right.
And so we're
Ready.
all at the ready. So 5 minutes, 10 minutes passes. All of a sudden, this guy, I think he was just out of booze, so he had to go back to his stash somewhere. He starts walking towards us, and all of a sudden, Phil, the wet cat, goes to Bud, and he goes, "Bud, showtime! It's showtime! It's showtime!" And Bud just grabs some utensils and gets them ready. We all pivot and move towards to get like aggressively ready for something to go down. And this guy starts talking to us. He says, "How you doing?" And we're just like, "Good." Now
Well,
I mean, it was gibberish. Like
it was gibberish.
It was like, "How's the weather?" And then he was like, "How's the weather?" And then he was like, "How's the weather?"
But it was, you could barely actually understand what he was saying because he was just so adamant, drunk and high and adamant. And then finally he walked away.
But did you realize that he walked away down that street, and then 30 minutes later,
He comes
he's back in the same
behind
spot?
Yeah, he walked
He looped
around
around
the
With
block.
this Mountain Dew full of piss.
Yeah, he had now he had a different beverage, and it wasn't a can. It was a Mountain Dew bottle. It was definitely piss
Yes,
because he wasn't drinking it. At least the can.
Yeah, at least
he
he
kept
didn't
trying to
drink
drink it. The can. That's when he realized the can was empty, and
Well, if
he
you're
was
gonna-
just dancing again.
If you're gonna be drinking and doing a lot of drugs, like as soon as you piss it out, you just gotta take it back in. That's
Right,
free.
I guess that's free. That's free
drugs.
redrugs. They call those redrugs.
Free drug reject.
Yeah. Redrugs. Yeah. So that's the guy we saw
Reuse,
the next
recycle.
night in a different, just completely different like get up. He was a different guy essentially, but it was the same dude. And he's just, we were walking by and he just kept saying, "Sorry guys, I'm drunk. Sorry, I'm drunk." And I was like,
We're not even fucking talking to you.
Yeah.
Just let us fucking pass you.
Yeah.
If that was drunk, then what the hell was
That was yesterday, dude. And I was always wondering, in my head when we walked past, like, I wonder if he remembers. Like, that's why he was saying, "Sorry, I was drunk from the day before." But
I don't think so.
that's giving him too much credit. Yeah.
Like I was saying the night of the Mexican restaurant, I was like, what is it like to do that? Like to go a full whatever trip on meth? Like
A cycle.
Do you remember anything, or is it like because he was literally just dancing by himself for hours and hours and hours?
I wish we had someone that could.
I don't know. What is it like? Does anybody here know?
the viewers of the LPDS? Submit it.
Yeah, submit your.
I know I get a call.
Anybody who's done meth, send an anonymous email to LibrettiPodcastDiary@gmail.
The phone lines are
And
open.
somebody here will tell you if you're right.
We have experts standing by.
Oh,
man,
God
but-
damn.
We still got another night together.
Yeah.
Now tomorrow, Saturday night. Well, by the time you guys hear this, it'll be all over. We'll
Yeah.
be dead. But we got one more night together to actually.
Considering.
And then we have a goddamn wedding.
And then we have a wedding to go to in June for the wet cat.
I'll tell you what, though,
Weeks.
about
Yeah.
last night, though. I can now vouch for the brother-in-law about drinking water as you booze up because, I mean, fucking science, man. I feel right as rain, good to go, and I'm not a heavy drinker at all, so.
Get it on you.
All right, thanks. But yeah, I can now swear by the brother code that
That's good.
you got to
Now,
hydrate up.
You started a little late in
Oh
the
yeah,
game.
I had to catch up.
And you were feeling the booze.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
we were,
the first shot we had a dinosaur. We were sitting next
Oh
to each
yeah,
other.
the
I
room
was
was
fucked up.
spinning.
yeah. Well, we
It
had
got
that
me
screw.
hard.
It was called Screwball,
Screwball.
right? And
Shout
it's-
out to Chad Modelmo for putting me on that. Thank you, Chad. That's
Yeah.
delicious.
Peanut butter.
Screwball. It's a peanut butter whiskey, and
Yeah.
it goes down smooth, and it's
A little
and it's
too
pretty
smooth.
potent
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's more potent than like Fireballs. Trash now compared to that.
You started late.
So-
Started late, but I caught up, and I woke up this morning and I felt great.
Yeah.
So
Good to go.
yeah, I can now swear by the brother-in-law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
Even
only-
though you didn't believe me, or you didn't trust me when we were at the last place, and I was like, "Do not drink that other beer."
Oh,
And you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm gonna drink it. Kayla told me I could drink it, or whatever the fuck her name was.
Yeah, Kylie, that's what it was.
Kylie.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Dude, you're hammered. Just have another water." You're like, "I'm gonna have a beer."
Yeah.
That's another. That
I
was
was like,
another.
"All right,
You
man."
can't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
That was another good side story that I don't even know if everyone was tracking. So we're sitting at this other bar. It's by your apartment.
Yeah.
The first thing that the wet cat says to us was, "Hey, I'm a local here. Like I go here regularly. Don't fuck this up for me. Like,
Don't embarrass
don't
me.
embarrass me so that I can't come back here."
It wasn't to you guys. It was to.
I know who it was. It was to
Clint.
It was to your alter. It was to the alter ego, Clint. So we go there and they're talking. There's there was some obvious flirting going on with the bartender, like to the bartender. I wouldn't necessarily say she was giving it back because she liked any of us, but she was trying to get paid.
Yeah, she was just doing her
She
job well.
was a nice, she was a good person,
Good person.
worked
She was
hard,
a
good bartender or manager or whatever.
She was only 22, which still baffles me.
Yeah, she was
With her
very
boyfriend.
adult and mature
Yeah,
for that
yeah.
age. So
Yeah, I don't buy that.
they're talking, and all I hear is your alter ego, Bungie's alter ego, Clint, telling the creature. All I hear him say is, "You're like that guy that when they see you with
Oh,
your girlfriend."
Yep. See?
Wait a second. He goes, when they see you, you're the guy that they're like, how the hell did he get her?
Thank you. Yep. I'm glad Sarge heard it.
And then
I did not say. So I said that about.
So I heard it out of context, but those were the exact words.
Thank you.
So I don't know. So
And he spent the better part of an hour backtracking.
it was a good 45 minutes of them
Arguing.
going back and forth like they were like a married couple of what did you mean, like are you saying I'm a piece of shit, ugly, like not desirable, and this, like the whole back and forth.
So the conversation was, Brandon, who's a dear friend of mine, he is the friend that always keeps you in check. He doesn't keep it real. So if you ever have like a bad relationship or a bad breakup, whatever, he's not gonna be like, oh, don't worry, Sarge, she was a, what guys do, like, oh, she was a bitch, whatever, forget about her. Yeah. Bungie's gonna be like, it's probably because you're a fucking loser. That's Brandon.
But no, he was like, what's your name? She's like, Kylie, what's your name? Clint.
Clint.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Okay. Anyway, go back to the story because that's a tangent.
Well, so I'm kind of.
And can we give some context? Because
Yes, you had. That's why I wanted to bring it up because I had no context. All I heard was you telling my other best friend that
He's ugly.
he's the guy
That is the
that nobody understands why he would get any girl.
Nope, that's the
what I
conversation
heard.
that
Yeah.
Brandon, he keeps it real, man.
So
and I
there's no
appreciate it.
that
context.
is not what I
appreciate
meant by
it.
that.
And then there was. Then the back and forth was just like it was in the fog of war because it was like the volume was everybody talking at the same time, so I didn't hear the rest of it. But
if we're going to talk about war, it's because he's trying to eliminate the competition.
Yes.
He's doing it to his face right in front of the bartender.
He's trying to
Talking to
mentally-
bitches.
He's trying to beat me down.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So in context, Steven was showing me a picture of this girl that he is trying to, that one of his
Woo.
other friends is hooking him up with. Who's gonna like set
Trying
him
to
up on
woo.
a date. with
Yeah.
him. And I was like, wow, she's gorgeous. Great job.
Way out of your league.
But it just reminded me of that. It reminded
story
me
of-
Yeah. And that's when he said, you're the kind of guy that'll look at with her and be like, how the fuck did he pull that off?
Yeah, if you ever
You're just keeping it real, man, and I can appreciate
You
it.
meant it. I can tell you meant it well.
Yeah.
I did mean it well. It's one of those things where like
Where like in fairy tales, the ugly monster gets the pretty girl.
yes, it
Like,
Yeah, this is making it a lot better. The ugly monster gets the beautiful girl. We're really clearing this up.
No, I'm saying that because like in a lot of our I can say that in a lot of our relationships, like in my relationships, I've always felt unworthy of the girl that I was dating because fortunately for me, I've always had pretty good success dating like somebody who was way out of my league in my
Which is another frustrating thing about you. I'll talk about that separately, but go ahead. Yeah.
So that's just one of those things where I was like, this is I don't know. how
Yeah,
to
there's
say
no
this.
way you're gonna dig yourself out of this because there is no
Just accept
explaining.
it,
Yeah.
move on.
Wait, what
Say
you
sorry.
said was, yeah, she's out of your league, bro. Sorry.
All you have to say is the intent was good. I miscommunicated it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
it. Because
I'm
then
sorry.
that's it. That's all.
Yeah.
But the back and forth was. I wish
it wasn't
I recorded
good.
it.
It wasn't good.
I wish I recorded because we
Yeah.
were talking 45 minutes. And then at the end, I was just like, "Why don't you guys just kiss already?" Like, it was just
Well, we would have, but Bungie's out of my league.
yeah.
Damn straight.
That's
I didn't pick up on any of this.
Yeah, dude. We were back and forth for a while, but it's
time.
in total context. How many times in our past have I been there for you when it comes to relationships?
Never. I'm telling you, you're my brother. I love you, but you're the friend that keeps in check.
Have I never helped you with Beatrice back in the day?
Wait,
How many times
wait.
you come
Wait.
to me Oh shit! I didn't mean to say that. Nah, it doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter. It's a long time
A lot of
ago.
Beatrices out there.
But Beatrice, if you're listening to this by any chance,
I'm still
I'm
available.
still single. And
I'll email her the link.
I mean, according to Brandon, beautiful girls
That's
and
right.
monsters, these
Oh
bees
my
always
God.
find some kind of connection. You never know.
yeah, you never
The
know.
Shrek is a Shrek story.
That's
alone.
right.
Yeah. Fiona, you usually fan Fiona.
Yeah. And that didn't even help the situation.
No, it didn't.
As
But
you guys,
it's a
were
big day.
sharing nachos.
Yeah, we did. Those nachos were pretty good too. Philly cheesesteak nachos too.
Yeah, we're good.
Well, as Sarge said, I fucked up. I miscommunicated my good intent. So I'm
In
sorry.
every conversation we've had over the last 10 years.
Well, that's what happens when you become Clint, for lack of a better name. Is you did it again at the bar when you were talking to some other, like the bartender, and about to be like, hey, what do you think of my friend over there?
Yeah.
Pointing in my direction, and you were like, and I didn't even ask you, like I never asked you to do that. You were pointing, so I was like,
Well, because I want you guys to be happy.
I know,
No,
but
it's-
logically speaking, and in real life, and this is not a movie, this is real life, that doesn't work.
It
Because
I gotta pee.
It does work. It's a strategy.
God damn it.
no, we're gonna take a quick commercial break because everyone's gonna pee again. Nice. We're back.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so
We're-
going. I'm not done. Yeah,
So back-
we're going-
Get yourself back up.
We just had an intervention on
Rile yourself back up.
Going to a girl on behalf of your friend shows them immediately that the friend is a beta. And like pecking order, old survival type of like mentality is like, why would I want someone who doesn't even have the scruples, the chutzpah, if you will, to even walk up to me to themselves and just say hi, you know?
Yeah.
So the well-intention is there, but Clint has to cool it with that.
Yeah, Clint's dead.
Especially when I wasn't even
We're
interested
dead
in,
tonight.
yeah, I wasn't even interested in that person. She was nice and good looking, but it was like, what am I gonna have a relationship with someone who's from Syracuse? No, I'd rather go to war.
For 2 or 3 years before she kills herself
Yeah.
out of depression.
So,
Because of Syracuse, not because she's in a relationship with you.
good save.
Just doing it again. Man.
Yes, good
help
intentions.
Oh,
You just fall into these situations.
Just bring them down.
Not because she's dating a monster.
Yeah.
Certainly not that.
Oh my god.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but today I'm on a different mission. I talked to the creature on our trek back last night. You all know this, and I think the Jabroni Junction probably knows this by now, is when I'm visiting a place, I gotta check out the special interest establishments.
Good.
And so last night we knew Clint was in a position that if I mentioned the word, no matter what time of night, he would have been like, "Let's go." So when Ordy and I were talking about, when he said, "Hey, we haven't even gone to a special interest establishment yet, an SIE," and I was like, "Hold off, because we don't want to go tonight. We want to go tomorrow. Otherwise, it will suck tonight on Thursday night." SIE established, you know.
In Syracuse? If it was Thursday night in Vegas, it'd probably still have the A squad, but Thursday
Yeah.
night in Syracuse,
The ace
Absolutely.
squad.
you're probably getting the D squad.
We're getting the Toon Squad.
Shout out to
Shout out to Toon Squad. So that's my goal, and you know when I get a goal in mind, I'm relentless.
Yeah.
Lowe's knows this. You guys know this.
Alumni
So,
Association.
even if we just walk in and we see it's an absolute dumpster fire and we gotta leave, I'll check the box for me.
I feel
So
like it would make it even better if it's a dumpster fire.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll still try to stay.
Maybe worse than that one in PG County that we went to. We talked about. Yeah.
Showtimes or whatever it was called, to bring your own.
Yeah, dumpster beers.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was a good time. I'll go back there for sure.
Can't be worse than the Shark Lounge.
That's true.
That is also true.
Nowhere is worse than the Shark Lounge.
I don't. We
Or
talked about the
better.
Shark Lounge.
What was that?
We did
Or
discuss.
better.
We did discuss the Shark Lounge on our episode.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah.
Or Phil, were you there for that?
No, I just heard the stories.
No.
It was.
Megan,
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah, maybe Barrett was there and somebody else. I don't know who else.
Yeah, it was me, you, Barrett, and Tommy, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that guy in the back corner.
Just fucking wrist deep in that
Oh
girl's
my
butthole.
god, dude! It was like
Jesus.
yeah, it was.
I do remember going there to the liquor store portion with you
The
guys
package, yeah.
after that whole debacle, and you guys were loudly explaining the entire story while we were in the liquor store portion that was separated from the strip club portion by like just a curtain.
By a screen door. And they had no shame, and obviously it got them, caught because they got busted with like what cheese and ice, I think.
Everything.
I mean, I'm sure that came up on your background check. Because that was a federal investigation that busted all those people, so they saw you on the camera like, who is this guy?
They're like, we've seen him in many different locations and all these other SIE. They're like, is he the common denominator of the kingpin?
They also busted prostitution too.
Did they?
Yeah,
Well,
it was
no
like
shit.
Trafficking, everything. It was all kinds of shit.
Yeah, and because they weren't even hiding it, they were offering 2-for-1
They put on
blowjobs.
like 2-for-1 drinks, but that was code for 2-for-1 blowjobs.
Yeah, but they said it. But on the sign, that's what they said. But verbally, they were just telling you right out of in the blue, like, we will do sex stuff to you in the back, and these behind this beads. And I was like, absolutely not.
For $1.
Yeah, for the record, absolutely not. But later tonight,
Later tonight, maybe.
they did have a good playlist, though. I will say that.
They did. I will say that as well.
Yeah, they had a
did.
good dancing playlist, and that was literally the only good thing about that.
Yeah, that place sucked otherwise.
Yeah, the talent was
Only
trash.
there for the stories, but when you have 300-pound strippers that literally can't jump, it's not entertaining for anybody.
It was tough. It was tough to be a part of, and that's what I'm kind of looking forward to tonight.
Yeah.
So maybe
That brings it full circle.
Yeah.
we'll have an update
Maybe
episode.
Orton can lower his standards enough to maybe.
I don't know.
I mean, he
Probably not low enough.
I'm hoping to meet
If you
my
stay
wife.
on him long enough.
Yeah, keep dragging me
I
down.
demoralize him. Oh no.
Maybe I'll meet my wife there, future wife. I am an aspiring stepfather after all. But
Maybe if we see Brandon talking to Orban in the corner, we need to separate it real quick.
yeah, before it could cause us trouble. But yeah, we've been going for two plus hours now.
Yeah.
I don't even know what else to talk about.
I mean, this obviously could go on forever. We said that on every episode.
Yeah.
I legit can.
But
Why don't we cut it here? We'll get prepared for the evening. If I'll leave the gear up if we want to do like a morning recap if we're alive.
That sounds like a good idea.
Yeah.
The morning recap of
Yeah,
the
in the
night.
morning, how about when we get back?
Yeah, that could be.
It's the morning. The
Yeah,
morning
yeah,
recap.
That's what he meant.
That'd be better.
I'm not coming back tonight.
So, thank you guys for doing this. If we don't have a part 2, this was awesome. Again, I could do this all fucking day.
And again, the next time that we'll be back together is
In 2 weeks.
The White Cat's wedding
Yeah.
in 2 weeks. Or it'll be like a week and a half from the time this posts. So it'll be an exciting time. I'm not gonna bring the gear for that. We're gonna. That's business. That's wedding.
I was gonna say we should maybe do another episode just all in our suits.
Our sleeveless suits.
our flames.
Going after the targets of interest. But we'll see about that. But thank you guys for having on. Real quick before we leave, gotta talk about the big 3. Number 1, exercise every day. Whether it's jumping jacks, JO sesh, jumping humps,
walking back from the bar.
walking miles, thousands of steps back from the bar, away from the bums. Whatever it is, get your exercise in.
Running with 2 pounds of chicken.
I did.
We got
a
extra-
fucking mile.
I mean, we got almost 20,000 steps yesterday alone.
Oh yeah.
So find a way to do it. It helps you physically, mentally, emotionally. I can't say that enough. Number 2, don't be a shitty person, especially behind the keyboard, text message tough guy in, posting blindly bullshit.
telling your friends that they're ugly.
At least he doesn't do it behind a keyboard, though.
No, he doesn't do it. Yeah, he doesn't.
Right there.
Yeah.
It makes it that much better.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's.
I don't tell them they're ugly, people. I don't. I think my friends are beautiful human beings who
All right,
have a
all
lot to
right,
offer.
yeah.
I hate you all.
No lying. Don't be a shitty person and don't lie. But seriously, it's so easy nowadays to get on your computer and shit talk someone you never even met before and know nothing about. and feel good about yourself because you got that jab in. Meanwhile, that person has an entire life that they've lived and created their persona off of. So think about someone else as a human being, as a prior child before you just go in on them. And then number 3, the most important one, is be thankful and grateful genuinely for all the good that you guys have in your lives. And this is the prime example of that. The ability for all of us to still be friends 10 plus years later and to come together even in this shitty town and still have an awesome time. You can't I can't ask for anything more. I mean, I would love to be a billionaire, but I would easily settle for this if I could do this on a regular basis. It's so much fun to get you guys around, and to have that ability still is unbelievable.
Yeah, thanks for making the trip up here. I really appreciate it. Yeah.
So always remember that stuff, guys. The big 3. Thank you guys again. You guys got any social medias you want to plug or anything you're looking business-wise, work-wise?
Shout out Sausage and Peppers.
S&P 1.
I just joined the Instagram world about 2 hours ago.
There you go.
Yeah, I don't even remember what my handle is.
Prime _ the pump.
That's it. Prime _ the pump. That's
on
my
Instagram.
handle.
So there you
follow
go.
me.
So follow Creature. Tuck, you got anything? You got a plug right now? I know you're working on your vlog and your website. So when that comes out, we'll make sure that we plug that as well.
Yeah.
If you need to buy it or sell a house, I got you.
Yep, Iron Mike Dakota on Instagram.
If you need any cheese, he's got you.
The good stuff. But thank you guys again.
If you need any relationship or like,
Somebody to bring you down, keep you in check.
If you think your significant other is too highly of themselves, just call Brandon.
For that dose of reality. Yeah, for a quick line of reality to snort. But thank you guys again. Hey, go visit the website, johnlibretti.com. I am going to be working on adding more content. I've been working with the expert Tuck here on some ideas on how to get some more good shit onto the website, so stay tuned for that. But go check it out. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. Like, share, subscribe, comment. I love the feedback. Put the comments in because I love reading them and replying to them, so do that. But thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.